It's the second week of the PBA in Pampanga, and the action will still come to you from the Don Honorio Ventura State University Gymnasium in Bacolor as we welcome you to another triple header in your Honda PBA Philippine Cup 2021. We are starting off with a good one. The Magnolia Hotshots, Pambansang Manok, going up against the NLEX Road Warriors. As we thank you so much for joining us here on PBA Rush. Carlo Pamintuan with Vince the Prince. He's on. Vince, this should be an intense matchup between these two teams. Coach Chito Victorero versus Coach Shengyao. A lot of stars in this particular matchup, and there will be a good reward for the winner because they will stay within striking distance of the league-leading TNT Tropang Giga.
Well, you definitely hit the nail on the head. And by the way, it's great to be back and working with you once again, Carlo. You know, like we say, there's a collision at the crossroad. Both of these teams are definitely going to go at it. They got so much to live for, so much to go for this win, and they're pretty evenly matched. But let's just see how they can really go at each other. I'm sure it's going to be a very physical matchup on both sides. So looking forward to this huge collision.
The TNT Tropang Giga are slowly starting to elevate themselves as they're currently still undefeated with the Meralco Bolts and Magnolia Hotshots right behind them at 5-2. The NLEX Road Warriors with their hot run in Pampanga can actually join that group, join that chase back just behind TNT if they pick up this win against Magnolia. But what have you noticed has been the biggest change for NLEX? They look like a different team in Pampanga.
Well, first of all, they what do you call it? With the absence, I should say, of Kiefer Ravenna, other guys have had to step up, and step up they have. We'll get to them in a bit, but obviously the whole roster, the whole focus of the offense and a lot of the defense has changed. But again, leave it up to the expert like Coach Yengyao to really make those major moves in a good way.
So the NLEX Road Warriors have won all their 3 games in Pampanga. The Magnolia Hotshots not too hot as they lost 2 of their 3 games here. 2 really tight ones. The first of which was a loss to the Meralco Bolts in a game that they should have won but ended up losing in the final 2 minutes. And then this gigantic battle against the TNT Tropang Giga, 83-76. What told the story among the numbers and what happened in that game?
Well, obviously going against a powerhouse in the undefeated Talking Tex Tropang Giga, it wasn't an easy task. But Magnolia made a very good accounting of themselves, but they showed some deficiencies, and I'll say that they showed it from the inside and from downtown. The second, third, and fourth graphic, the rebounds, they lost by 3. Second chance points lost by 6, and really got outshot. They -9. They're only 1 out of 15 from 3-point land. That's why I think they're just a little deficient, but again, they can adjust.
Of course, the good thing about the Magnolia Hotshots is their depth, especially in that guard position, led by 2 batchmates, 2 draftees in the 2011 PBA rookie draft. A decade into their PBA career, still rolling, 2 of the top point guards in the industry. We're talking, of course, about Paul Lee and Mark Baroka.
Both of these guys are definitely hot shots that they will always rely on and go to when they really need it. You can look at some of their numbers. They're really impressive. Paul Lee, 16 points, 2.7 boards, doing some assists, 96% from the free throw line. And Baroka, not to really be outdone much, almost 12 points, 3.5 boards, 5 assists, so more assists than Lee, and he's shooting 91%. Both of these guys are almost perfection from the free throw line.
Of course, they take care of the guard duties for the Magnolia Hotshots, but so important to their cause is establishing Ian Sangalang inside. Their only really legitimate post threat is Ian Sangalang, and when he gets going early in the game, when he establishes his inside game, he opens so many things for the Magnolia offense.
Like you said, when he really gets going, he really does get going in a big way. Ian inside is, like you said, they're really only reliable post threat. Rafi Rivas is there, but he's more for defense and rebounding, not necessarily to really push it inside. Corpus can shoot, but he's more of a mid-range guy, and even from the outside, really their only inside threat is Ian.
So the 43% is still something that he has to improve on. He has to be more efficient with his scoring, as we might just get to see No, bounce back game coming from Ian Sangalang, of course. The rest of the team also loaded. Gio Halalo, Justin Melton also coming back from an injury. And Calvin Abueva has been outstanding for this squad with 17 points and 9.6 rebounds per game, almost a double-double. As we move forward to our discussions with the NLEX Road Warriors, as you said earlier, Vince, no Kiefer Ravena. It has not been a problem for them so far. Everyone just stepping up, led by, of course, Kevin Alas and Jericho Cruz, but they're looking like a driven team even with the absence of one of the most, crucial factors in their squad.
Let's look at the last game for them. It was really impressive as well. NLEX really dominating Phoenix in virtually every department. Of course, they won by 18, but they were +9 in rebound, +8 in assists, and the two big ones for me are points in the paint, and points off turnovers. +20 in both of those. So huge numbers, great stats for NLEX, really ripping apart Phoenix.
And two of those stats were very much related because a lot of the assists came from drives and dumps to the inside to guys like Raul Soyu, JR Quinahan. All they did was put it up because the defense was already spread thin at that point.
They have such quick guards who get really deep penetration, and they pretty much shut the lights out from the outside in mid-range. So good things happening for them in this thus far in this elimination round.
Raul Soyu came back from an ankle injury in their last game against Phoenix, and he was so good. Soyu, 17 points, 8 rebounds, almost perfect from the field.
He was tough, very reliable. If they can get him going and JR Quinahan at the same time, they're really going to be so good if you're a Bisaya. 17 points for him, 8 boards, 8 out of 9 from the field. Wonderful numbers from Soyud.
And his return was not expected. Coach Yengyao said that he was expecting him to miss another game perhaps, but he wanted to return. He wanted to make a statement beside the veteran JR Quinahan and make a statement. They definitely did. But as we said, in the absence of Kiefer Ravena, 2 guards have stepped up big time for the Road Warriors. We are talking about Kevin Alas and Jericho Cruz. In terms of their ability to fill in that role, they fit perfectly into it. But of course, it's more than just Alas and Cruz, but what they're doing so far is certainly commendable.
Absolutely. No phenom, you'd think that'd be a huge problem. But for them, no problem thus far for them and NLEX. They're really cruising with Cruz and Alas really filling in for the phenom. Look at the numbers. They've had 17 points, 5.5 boards, and 4 assists for Alas, and Jericho, who was our best player of the game in the last game, almost 12 points, 3.2 boards, and 3 assists. A lot of confidence from these guys.
26 assists in the ball game against the Phoenix Super LPG Fuel Masters just speaks volumes of how the Road Warriors are so willing to create for their teammates. As we are in the final moments of the team's preparations before we start this matchup again. TNT Tropang Giga 6-0. Meralco Bolts tied with the Magnolia Hotshots Pambansang Manok at 5-2, but the NLEX Road Warriors are right behind them at 4-2, so they can actually leapfrog Magnolia with a victory here and get the second spot so far in our team standings as we turn it over to our Coliseum announcer to introduce our starting units.
Pambansang Manok Hotshots taking on the NLEX Road Warriors. And now let's meet the starters first for the Magnolia Pambansang Manok Hotshots. A 5'10 guard from Zamboanga City, number 14, Mark Barroca. A 16 guard from Alcala Pangasinan, number 5, Jeric Ahanmisi. A 6'7 center from Buluan, South Cotabato, number 4, Rafi Rivas. A 6'4 forward from Ilagan Isabela, number 1, Jackson Corpus. And a 6'3 forward from Balibago, Pampanga, number 13, Calvin Abueva. Head coach for Magnolia is Chito Victorero. And now the starters for the NLEX Road Warriors. A 6-foot guard from Las Piñas City, number 7, Kevin Alas. A 6'1 guard from Iloilo City, number 39, Jericho Cruz. A 6'6 center from Santa Ana, Pampanga, number 2, Michael Miranda. A 6'5 forward from Liloan, Cebu, number 14, Chris Porter. And a 6'5 forward from Siaton Negros Oriental, number 3, Calvin Oftana. Head coach for NLEX is Yengyao. Our referees for this game, Jimmy Mariano,
Your starters for the Magnolia Pambansang Manok Hotshots and the NLEX Road Warriors. And this is something that Coach Chito Victorero said that he picked up from Coach Yang Yao. He will alter his starting unit from time to time. Almost every game there's a change because he wants to keep the opponents guessing. It's right off the Yang Yao playbook, and it's interesting how that will pan out against the person who was your source of this kind of tactic, as Michael Miranda and Rafi Rivas will jump it off. And this tip-off is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA.
What would you call the lineup change? Intelligence and counterintelligence, and then counter to the counterintelligence?
I would think so. Something like that.
Everybody's doing it now. And I don't know if Coach Yang Yao was the one who started it, but virtually a lot of teams, especially now with this short elimination that we have, really every game is so important. As we see that wonderful shot by Baroka to get things going after shooting only 1 out of 15 in the last game. But again, every game is so important, and the bench is so important for each team because you're really going to get deep. You only have 2 or 3 days left or in between games, so it's really difficult on the legs.
Maybe Coach Yang Yao did not invent it, but certainly made it popular with the rain or shine Elasto painters, as Mark Barroca misses this one-hander, but a foul is called on the rebound. As you said earlier in the pregame, Vince, Rafi Rivas, just a beast on the board.
Yes, he's so long. He's been around for quite some time, but he continues to be effective. And going back to Coach Yang, I played under him a couple years as well at Red Bull, and sometimes we didn't know who was going to even start. I'm not kidding. So all of a sudden your name gets called and you're like, oh, I guess I'm playing. Okay, here we go. So even the players don't know sometimes.
So how does that affect you mentally?
You got to always be ready.
Exactly.
I mean, you're pros. You got to be ready to fire at will every single time, at any time.
Coach Yang says he also uses it to reward those who practice well.
You can do it for whatever reason. Bottom line is it works.
His methods are certainly unique, but so far it's working, especially here in Pampanga, where they have picked up 3 straight victories. Had a lukewarm start in our Honda PBA Philippine Cup 2021. The reverse is true though for Magnolia, as they had a hot start. They were undefeated in Pasig, but now only 1-2 in Pampanga.
They have such a tremendous inside that, Ian is really their big guy, but we're talking when they get Corpus, Abueva, and Ian Sangalang working together, they're formidable.
Calvin Abueva spins, might have traveled, set his pivot foot and then forgot about it. Yes, the beast can post up sometimes, but you know that his attack will mostly be about his driving, his slashing, and his one-handers inside.
The beast is made of something different than most of the rest of the people in the world. He even gets hit, knocked down hard. Usually once or twice in a game, but somehow he just pops right up. He's got one of those types of skin and flesh that just rejuvenates after just a few seconds.
When he was playing for Gilas, they called him Wolverine because he just doesn't take damage.
There you go.
He just stands right back up. As we're all tied up now at 3 apiece, 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Again, coming to you from the Don Honorio Ventura State University Gym in Bacolor, Pampanga. Good pass. Another nice kick-out pass. Jackson Corpus for 3.
Okay. That's a good sign. Jackson had a tough game out last time. I think he had some foul problems as well. And also got nicked on the head. So he was having a head injury issue. But it's a good sign for not just him, but for Magnolia to really get those outside shots going. Because, once they can do that, it opens up things more for Ian Sangalang and the other guys inside.
Well, when you already overcome your 3-point conversions from your last game in the first 2.5 minutes of this game, things are about to be good.
That is good. And one thing else that's good is Jackson Corpus's hair. He's gone from pink to blue, and today it's green. I think it's one of those spray-on things.
I would think so. I think he dyed it blonde and then just works with whatever he feels for that particular day. It might still be blue, just a washout kind. Maybe it might have shampooed it.
Don't, where I come from, you don't really try to confuse blue and green. Wow.
Well, strong drive coming from Chris Porter.
Taking it hard. Going right to the basket. You
challenge.
got to be tough as nails.
Yes.
You know, right now, it's not easy for anybody. All the teams are facing hardships just because of the way it's set up. You know, out of town. Hey, that's another good shot there from Corpus. Again, it's not easy, but everybody's facing the same dilemma, same problem. So it's a matter of who's the toughest that'll usually end up on top.
Calvin Oftana fakes 3, dribbles in closer, blocked by Corpus. Gang rebounding, picked up by Rafi Rivas. Ahan Misi spots up for 3. That's good.
There's a guy who can light it up in a big way. We saw him do it at Adamson University, and he's getting it going here in the pros as well.
3 3-point shots converted already by the Magnolia Hotshots as Kevin Alas will try to get 2 points back from the free throw line, and this has been a problem of sorts for Calvin Abueva. If you can say something bad about how he has performed for the Magnolia Hotshots, he has fouled a little too much.
Look at this pull-up 3. You know, some coaches back in the old days would say, hey, what are you doing? That's a fast break. What are you doing a 3-point shot for? But nowadays, if it's open, go for it. That would have been nice. But anyways, now going back to Abueva, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. He's had that, obviously great games, but the foul situation has really led Coach Chito to limiting his action on the court.
Fouled out against Meralco when they could have used his defense specifically in that last play against Chris Newsom.
Oh, yeah. That was a huge play for Chris Newsom. What an acceleration.
Oh, that's an offensive foul. Yep, Corpus just trying to make way unnecessarily at that. It wasn't even an attack for Magnolia yet.
It's like a freight train coming down the tracks. You get in his way, he's going to knock you over. He's also got to take care of his foul situation.
Yep. Ian Sangalang as well. 11-7 is the count. 3 3-point shots already converted by the Magnolia Hotshots. They're still perfect from the outside as Miranda connects with another jumper.
Both of these teams really shooting well. And kind of an unexpected 3 there for Miranda. But obviously he has the confidence to go up with it.
11-9 now after that long 2 as Calvin Abueva misses from deep. First miss for Magnolia. Pull up 3 in transition, too strong for Alas.
Online just a little bit long.
Mark Baroja dumps it down low. Good read coming from Oftana. But the rookie a little too careless there.
Got to dribble low.
Not paying attention to the long hands, the long arms of Rafi Rivas. Corpus, another 3 on the way. He
Big
is 2
one.
for 2.
Oh, I would imagine. Oh, he won't. So they're going to keep going. Corpus really making up for lost time on the court because of foul trouble in the last games. But this one, wow, really looking for that shot. Nice
Porter.
spin. Nice.
With a good move. 2 baskets early in the game for Porter.
Wow, that was impressive. Nice spin.
Corpus kicks it out to Abueva now. 13 left in the shot clock for the Magnolia Hotshots. Rafi Rivas able to sell the hold coming from Chris Porter. And bringing it back to Magnolia versus TNT. I think the score there after the first quarter was 15 apiece.
Yeah, it was a super defensive game. I mean, you could really hear, it was so loud, the chirping of the shoes on the court because everybody was really getting low, getting deep, playing hard-nosed defense.
This one, though, a high-scoring first quarter so far. 14-11 in favor of Magnolia. This time on is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. start for both these squads. Magnolia and the NLEX shooting very well from the field. 14-11 is the count. We still have 6 minutes and 36 to play in the first quarter. Again, we thank you for watching on PBA Rush. Carlo Pamintuan with Vince the Prince Izon calling the game.
Really going to have a good battle today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Guys like that, Kevin Olas flashing his pearly whites. I don't know if he's doing a dentistry commercial or what, but really looking comfortable, going up with shots with ease, and it's good to see. It's fun to watch when guys are feeling comfortable and confident.
4 baskets for the NLEX Road Warriors, all assisted.
Wow.
Meanwhile, another 3-point shot, so that's 2 for Jerica Hanmisi, 2 for Jackson Corpus, and 1 for Mark Barroca.
Let's see if this will really be the quote-unquote breakout game for Jerica Hanmisi. You know, he's had some okay games, but nothing full game. I mean, it's like it just comes in like little chunks and bits.
I know you're referring to that fourth quarter against the Terra Firma G where he had 15 points. As Mark Barroca continues the hot offense for Magnolia. They rebuild the 6-point lead, 19-13. Cruz, good kick out pass. Quinyahan, straight away 3. Won't get the bounce as the Beast could not control the board on its way down. It will stay with NLEX.
Beast with some slippery fingers there. I just love it when you either shoot a bad shot or you drop the ball out of bounds or something. You always look at your hands. Like, who are you two? I don't know you guys.
Really? Seriously?
Talk to me.
Raul Soyud with a sorry miss there, as this will be another opportunity for Magnolia to add on to this advantage. Abueva hands it off to Barroca. Mid-range jumper, no good. Alas with the board. Kevin will not challenge it. Defense was already set off. Tana for 3, no good. Hanmisi with a rebound.
Still looking for me for that breakout game for Calvin Oftana. I mean, we all know how good he was. He was NCAA MVP, but just hasn't quite had that, you know, energetic one game where you can say that's the game where he did it really, really well.
Mark Barroca just pouring it on here in the first quarter of action. Already 7 points in the game.
He's really looking for a shot aggressively. Sometimes he shies away as well. Not really in the fourth quarter at all. When he's got the shot, he'll definitely take it, and he knows when to take the right shot. Because I find out sometimes first half, he really looks to just get other guys involved first.
That was a decent pass coming from Calvin Abueva. Unfortunately, Jackson Corpus could not complete the play with an undergo stab. Quinyahan with a nice pass.
Nice
an
pass.
extra dish to Soyud with another sorry miss.
Oh, that's a tough one.
He
Great
barely
pass.
missed in their last game. He was 8 of 9 against Phoenix.
Got to give credit to Calvin Oftana, though. That was a nice interior pass.
Corpus, hand off to Barroca. Mark will not force the issue. Dribbles out. They go to Calvin Abueva. Would be traveling against Corpus.
It was a good dance, but 3 steps is going to be a travel. Let's look at the shot once again by Mark Barroca. Just simple. Just the dribble, handoff, and the guy giving the ball is actually a screener as well. They're so good about going shoulder to shoulder as well.
Nothing fancy, just effective for Mark Barroca. He's been doing it all his career in the PBA. Again, a decade already. But the way that he takes care of his body, we know that he is the junior Ironman, second to L.A. Tenorio. As J.R. Quinyahan converts with a 3-point shot.
There's a guy you just can't forget about. I mean, he will burn you, both inside and out, but does a lot of his stuff from mid-range.
Oli seeing his first action of the ball game alongside Rom De La Rosa and Ian Sangalang. They will join their starters, Calvin Abueva, who is trapped here. Somehow recovers, kicks out to Paul Lee. One dribble, pull-up jumper. That's good.
There was a lot of wild and woolly action inside. I would call it a mugging and a counter-mugging.
But somehow they find a way as Kevin Alas misses from deep. Soyud with the offensive rebound.
Oh,
but he's
spoiled
denied
again
by Sangalang.
Good D. They really crowded him around and weren't, going to let him get it off easy. Oh, and alas, hits the deck.
Calvin Abueva converts from downtown. Another 3-point make for the Magnolia Hotshots. Pambansang Manok, that is their 6th triple of the opening quarter, forcing this NLEX timeout. Look at this one more time with one defender down. Calvin Abueva wide open from deep, and he will not miss with this one as he extends their advantage 26-16. First double-digit lead of the ball game belongs to the Hotshots. The NLEX Road Warriors, when push comes to shove, when they are in desperate need of a basket, they know exactly where to go, and it's JR Quinyahan. He has provided them with timely baskets throughout his stint with NLEX. Certainly did the same in their last game against Phoenix. The numbers of JR Quinyahan.
Mid-range madness for him. I mean, he's really crucial to NLEX's success. He's averaging 12.5 points, 5.2 boards, shooting pretty good percentage. And I always say, do not forget JR. He's gonna burn you like burning rubber on NLEX. He's a really good competitor, does a lot of good things, of course, from mid-range, but he can mix it up inside as well.
Technical foul whistled against Coach Yang Yao, and when you have a 96% free throw shooter, do you even doubt who the ball will go to?
I'd probably go with the 96 guy. Yeah.
Especially when the 91% guy is on the bench right now.
The question is he going to touch any rim whatsoever? Not, if he's going to make it or miss it.
Now this is now an all-bench crew for Coach Chito Victolero. Good entry pass as Raul Soyud finally gets his first field goal of the ball game, and this is an end-one opportunity.
Nice reaction to the wake-up call. I would call it technical from Coach Yang Gao. Look at this pass. I think it's the real first basket for Soyod going against Kyle Pascual inside.
Always love seeing those big-to-big passes.
Oh, interior passing, high-low passing. It's an art form, especially nowadays.
That's an end-one completed by Raul Soyud. Trims their deficit down to 8. Gio Halalon just checked in with Kyle Pascual to join Sangalang De La Rosa and Paul Lee for the Magnolia Hotshots. Sangalang kicks it out to Halalon. Paul Lee now top of the key. 7 seconds remaining in the shot clock. Paul Lee, the one-hander in traffic, no good. Rebound Soyud. His pass almost stolen. That might be an offensive foul. Yep, he was losing control of the ball. Don Trollano warded off against Gio Halalon. Of course, you respect the peskiness of Gio. Sometimes you feel that you have to do something extra to keep him out, to keep him away from you.
You hit the nail on the head there. Peskiness. As a guy who has the ball against a guy like Gio Halalon, it's not an easy thing because he's right there in your face all the time.
Sorry miss for Sangalang. Short shot would not fall as that tap goes out of bounds, still in favor of NLEX. Gio Halalon breaking up the play.
Mr. Pesky at it once again, breaking up a second pass there, and kind of a careless, but you can't have careless passes around Gio Halalon. He'll make you pay.
Trollano, Panyamogan, Semera, the new father, with Quinyahan and Soyud for Coach Yang Yao. Panyamogan, cross-court pass, Trollano, corner pocket, 3 ball, it's good.
Give credit to Panyamogan for that skip pass, and Trollano able to drain it. Again, that's, for him, one of the things that's been missing is the consistency on that three-point shot.
The challenge now is how do you generate your offense with Kevin Alas and Jericho Cruz on the bench, and Panyamogan showing that he can handled the offense so far and created for his teammates.
You know, he's been a pleasant surprise throughout his whole career for, his stints. He gets in there. He's not afraid to take the big shots. He really likes to play defense. You know, he looks like he's a little shy, but don't be taken off guard with that one. He can really burn you as well. Nice
Good pass. Amazing pass coming from Kinyahan.
You know, if Soyud would have made those other shots, he'd have like double digits already.
Yep.
He's had a couple inside stabs there, but he's missed.
But the two baskets of Raul Soyud, both courtesy of Kinyahan assists. Showing good chemistry. Might be a lift.
Nice show. Good show by Jack Kinyahan. Again, the veteran really pushing Paul Lee out. He thinks he's fouled. Of course, he's always going to say that anyways, but look at that crossover by Gio. Ball fake
pass,
and wide open.
Paulie and J.R. Kinyahan, longtime teammates with Rainer Shine. Another nice pass coming from Kinyahan. 3 assists in the ball game.
Great passing and a wonderful spin move there by Don Trillano, kissing it off the glass for the easy deuce.
Good fight back coming from the NLEX Road Warriors, down by as many as 10 points. They have trimmed it down to just 3 with 27.3 seconds remaining in our first quarter of action. 30-second timeout requested by Coach Chito Victolero, but the ebb and flow of this first quarter certainly entertaining.
Absolutely. Considering they only had 15 points, like you said, in the first quarter of the last game against TNT, they're almost doubling that already. If they can make this last shot, they definitely will.
Magnolia shooting at 61% from the field, NLEX shooting at 52% from the field. Combined, we already have 14 assists. It's a really good number for a first quarter.
That's a great number, and a lot of unselfish basketball. We always like to say, you know, you'd rather have a good shooter shooting a great shot than the other way around, and I really feel that's so important. You may be having a day where you're feeling really good, but if someone else is open, hit them.
Problem though for Magnolia, 8 turnovers already. 3 courtesy of Jackson Corpus, 2 apiece for Abueva and Barroca.
We can call them the happy feet Hotshots. They've had a couple travelings early on. Ooh, nice little double staggered screen. That one, Miranda sticks his hip out.
That is their final foul that they could give up here in the first quarter before it leads to free throws. The second differential between game clock and shot clock. Paul Lee doesn't care for 3. Too strong. Rebound Kinyahan.
A lot of time, 7 seconds.
Don Trillano with an early shot.
That's too fast.
Oh, but they get the ball back almost. Cal Pascual, however, takes it away from them. Don Trillano apologizing to Coach Engiao. He knew that it was too early, but he hit a 3-point shot earlier. Might have felt that he deserved this one, as we will end our first quarter with the Magnolia Hotshots hanging on to a 3-point lead, 29-26 against the NLEX Road Warriors. Second quarter of action about to begin inside the Don Honorio Ventura State University gym in Bacolor, Pampanga. Thank you for watching PBA Rush. Carlo Pamintuan and Vince Hizon on the call. Raul Soyud after a tough start, missing a couple of gimmies down low. has allowed himself to get going. As you can see, the three-point shooting in the first quarter, 6 of 8, 75% from deep for the Magnolia Hotshots with their hot shooting.
Definitely hot shots from the Hotshots. If they can keep that going, they're going to have a really great afternoon. That won't help their cause, though. The shot put by Kyle Pascual sails over the rim.
Did not hit anything.
Foul is on number 19,
As a foul is called against Rome De La Rosa, the first team foul of Magnolia here in the second quarter. Well, the story so far for the NLEX Road Warriors, J.R. Quinahan, only 3 points, but 3 assists also, equating to 7 points created by his teammates, courtesy of his creation.
There you go. Don Trilliano really looking for that shot aggressively. Obviously, he's been given the green light and trying to develop his confidence even more.
Well, that's more like it for Kyle Pascual. Missed everything on the one-hander, but give him a mid-range jumper and he will connect.
Absolute consistency. No, he actually has very good touch from about mid-range. That's more his game.
As J.R. Quinahan hits again. You know, you will see these players before the games, they will practice that mid-range jumper maybe 75% of the time that they're there.
You know, you have to keep the defense honest. Even if you're a big man, quote-unquote, 4 or 5 man, you got to be able to hit from mid-range so you can, like, at least keep the defense a little bit honest. Because if, you know, they come out, maybe you can go right around them and, you know, just really keep them at bay.
Rare post-up look there for Rome De La Rosa. Felt he had the size and strength advantage against Don Trollano. Converting on that baby hook. Trollano wants to get it back. He won't. Rebound goes to Miranda.
A lot of activity by the Road Warriors.
Another foul here, this time against Gio Halalon. It's Miranda, Trollano, Quinahan.
18 fouls for the Hotshots. 14 seconds on
Alongside
the shot clock.
Panyamogan and Anthony Semerad for the NLEX Road Warriors. Lee Sangalang, Kyle Pascual, Halalon, and De La Rosa for the Hotshots. Miranda to Quinahan for 3. No good. Battle for the loose ball. Will be won by the Magnolia Hotshots. A foul given up by Panyamogan.
Referee had his really make up his own mind as far as there were so many fouls happening on that particular rebound right there. It's like, choose one of the above.
He chose C, Panyamogan.
Can't do all of the above. But he could do none of the above.
He could, yeah, that was an option. It's so obvious that you're homeschooling right now.
Yes. There you go. Hey, do what you gotta do. Oh, Semerad. And Gio mixing it up with Semerad. It's a lot more, I guess you would say, muscular, but I don't think there's anybody tougher than Gio Halalon.
But he will be whistled for his second personal foul.
You know, that's a move they've really mastered. I think it's under the tutelage of you know, Johnny Albarriento, who was a master of doing that before. I think he really taught his stealing from the, you know, big man's grip ways to both Gio and Mark Baroka.
It's really a luxury to have an assistant coach like Johnny A with the wealth of experience on that bench.
Wow. He was a beast too back in his day, I'll tell you that.
And it's no accident really that Magnolia has, you know, some of the best guards in the industry.
Yeah, well, you're learning from, I think, the best, or if not the best, maybe one or two best in PBA history. So he's really an amazing guard. He did it all on both ends. He wasn't a, you know, a one-way street. He was really playing incredible defense, and his offense and his way to assist other guys was spectacular as well.
Yeah, very tough angle coming from Gio Halalon, forced it.
They always say run full routes, which means, you know, if you're gonna go, go. Don't just like go one step and then go the other direction. So, you know, turnovers like that will happen if you don't run full routes.
Another turnover against Magnolia. That is number 9. Still early in this ball game. Vince, we always get into that discussion of who is the best, you know, point guard ever. It's hypothetical, of course, but PBA fans love talking about it. for my opinion, in terms of just individual talent, Johnny Abarientos is the best point guard ever. I mean, some other people might have better careers, more championships, but in terms of raw talent, it cannot get any better than Johnny.
Well, I'll give you that, especially for we're talking about size, like undersized guards. Definitely Johnny. Nobody can compete. But again, you can you can talk about Hector Calma. You can talk about Coach
Jimmy Alapag.
Jaworski. You can talk about Alapag. There's so many. Jason Castro. There's so many good guards over the years, but who's the best? Again, it's one of those. How can you judge this guy? They never even played with him, and different eras.
Anthony Semerad converting on that triple, tying the contest at 33 apiece.
I'll still go with the logo, though. Sorry. Logo.
Subdivisions Lord Girl for Gio Hanalo, Calvin Cueva for Rob de la Rosa.
Wow.
Kevin Anas for Philippine.
Seems like everybody's got those
Tape?
the dots.
The dots, yeah. The Ventosa circles.
Yeah. I think they're burning a lot of candles around San Vicente Bacolor these days.
But how about NLEX climbing back from that double-digit deficit without Kevin Alas, without Jericho Cruz, and with J.R. Quinahan as their primary creator? How about that?
That's really amazing. And I think, that's the style of Coach Yingel. He gets guys going. He knows he's got his dependables, his guys that, he gives the green light. Like I saw you working hard once again. He thought he was fouled there. But again, by challenging those, those guys from maybe the second team or even farther, he forces them. You got to do your job too. You got to help help get us this win. Give us your inputs as well.
Oli dribbling out of trouble, but missing that short jumper. 35-34, 1 point advantage for NLEX. Strong drive leads nowhere for Trollano as Brill draws the foul from Mike Miranda.
You also got to wonder with a few misses of Paul Lee as we look at Soya go up strong against all of the beef inside. He really got hit hard in the head, but
medyo napalakas yata yung sapak sa sarili.
Tama. Pero si Lee also got hit hard in the head last game. It looked like almost a one of those whiplash injuries when he ran into his own teammate. I think it was Rivas. That's got to hurt. You got to wonder if that's still bothering him.
Knocked him out of the ball game in the most crucial minutes, actually, against TNT. He was able to play in the final minute. As the rookie Brill is getting opportunities coming from Coach Tito Victorero.
Hey, he's earned his playing time. He had a really good accounting of himself in the last game he played in, and I thought was an asset on both sides of the court. Oh, Semerad, the stone wall. Just got a little too close from the Calvin Abueva. Didn't give him room to operate.
Tried to explain that he stayed vertical, but you still have to respect the space of Calvin Abueva at that point. Paulie attacks once again. Will not get the bounce, but look at how early NLEX finds himself in the penalty situation. 6:49. And from here on out, Magnolia will be taking free throws, and you do not want to see Paulie on the line if you're NLEX.
Or Baroka, if you can help it, because they're shooting like 91 and 96% respectively. Paulie's not been able to hit those outside shots in recent times, but smart move by him. Just when in doubt, go inside. He's a master of getting contact and really selling the play to the referees as well. That's why he shoots a lot of free throws. Missed one today, which is a rarity. Oh, he hit the rim. That's another one. It's not normal for him. What's wrong? Are you okay?
Something's ailing Paul Lee.
It's usually all net.
Which means we've had long conversations about players and their textbook releases. Paul Lee's release isn't exactly textbook.
No.
Neither is Kevin Alas, but
no.
They were able to make it work for them. And sometimes you just have to stick with what works for you, really.
Whatever works. Again, it could be the prettiest jumper, as we see a nice pretty drive there by Cruz, who goes inside. Again, feeling the confidence of coming off that best player performance in the last game. Let's look at it once again. Nice acceleration. Goes up. Looked like he hit mostly his own player,
so you must be whistled for the foul.
but it looked like because Rivas is up high, I think he totally shielded the actual contact from his own teammate. But again, going back to shooting, coaches will say, I don't care what it looks like. You can shoot it from your feet. I don't really mind as long as it goes in. So that's the most important. You know, shooting is very simple as far as I'm concerned. You just got to be consistent. When you're consistent in the way you shoot, in your rhythm, in your release, and all of those things, then when days go, you know, like sometimes it happens where you're off, you'll know why, and you'll be able to adjust.
Offensive foul against Brill.
Yeah.
Had a good idea.
I think he did. And I think Magnolia sold that pretty good. It looked like, to me, Brill kind of put on the brakes pretty good. But anyways, doesn't matter. The referee blew the whistle.
But you saw in the last play how Kevin Alas was trying to hound the rookie Brill and force him to commit an error, which he ultimately did with that offensive foul. 10 turnovers already for the Hotshots.
That's a lot of TOs. You really only want 13 in a game to be able to win, as far as I'm concerned. Most coaches will say that number. So 10 and a quarter and change, not a good number.
Calvin Abueva has been silent since his return. Ian Sangalang down low against Kinyahan, trying to create some space. Misses. These are great looks for Ian.
Just good dive by Semerad. Oh, yeah, 4 guys on the floor now.
Oh, good extra effort there coming from Calvin Abueva, because he thought Rafi Rivas was about to shoot that one.
You know, these Hotshots are tenacious. There is just no let up for them. I mean, they play all the way until they score, and they don't give up for 1 millisecond.
Another good drive coming from Kevin Alas. 7 points in the ball game. Not shooting well from the field at 2 of 7. He gives the lead back to the Road Warriors. Rivas gives it back to the rookie. Corner pocket 3 ball, no good.
Oh, they're gonna give.
Called against NLEX.
Give the foul against Alas. Oh, Porter. Alas thought it was against him. Porter's like, who, me?
The problem is they are in the penalty, so the Magnolia Hotshots, Pambansang Manok, will be taking 2 free throws when we come back from this timeout, brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. In the last win of the NLEX Road Warriors, they had a 44-24 advantage in points inside the paint against the Phoenix Super LPG Fuel Masters. And guess what? They're building on that advantage here against Magnolia with a 20-6 lead in points inside the paint.
Points in the paint are very important. And again, we don't look at them as a terribly tall team outside of Rivas, who again is really primarily focused on the rebounding and the defense. But the offensive scorers, they really rely on those 3, I call them mighty meaties. You got Ian Sangalang, I said it right, and the Beast, and you know, of course, Corpus. Those 3 guys, they're full of energy, and I think Ian, being the lefty, has a knack for really scoring around the basket more so than the other 2.
But NLEX so far is dominating that, statistic. And it's not post up for the Road Warriors. It's creating and dumping inside.
It's a lot of mid post as well. You know, they're not like a team, for example, like San Miguel,
Yeah.
you just dump it down to Jumar, the low block. They don't have, I don't think, that kind of an attack mode. They kind of get him up a little bit higher so he has a little more space to operate.
Good swipe coming from Calvin Abueva, the beast. His pass goes wayward.
Oh, good crossover there.
Jericho Cruz, extra pass to Semera, denied up top by Calvin. That's 2 stops from Calvin. Back to back against Semera.
Wow. Looked like an easy 2 for the Road Warriors, but the beast just denies that shot by Samarad.
That ball bouncing off of the foot of Sangalang. He was asking for a foul. Referee's not biting. As Sangalang will take a break. Tough performance for him so far. Look at this once again. Cruz with a pass, but the fingertips getting to that ball coming from the beast.
Great timing. 3 blocks for Magnolia as opposed to the 1 of NLEX.
Quinahan with a handoff to Cruz. Jericho, one-hander too strong. Barroja with the board. So that pass a little too late coming from Barroja. As De La Rosa was momentarily open. Ball though will stay on their side. Still a lot of time remaining, 15 seconds on the shot clock. But NLEX has done a great job of taking the 3-point shooting away from Magnolia here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they're only 6 out of 10 as opposed to when they were, shooting around 80%. So they kind of dipped a bit. And because of that, they've limited the scoring of Magnolia. It's been I guess you could say, less scoring second quarter than it was in the first. Just because both teams have tweaked things and are really focusing more on defense.
Mark Barroja continuing his hot streak, as there will be an offensive foul. Rome De La Rosa a little too aggressive in looking for his position down low against his former collegiate teammate in Anthony Semerad.
I think Semerad really sold the play pretty well too. When he felt that the arm was going underneath, oh no, this is the other play. This is a good shot once again. Such a nice quick stop and pop from Mark Barroca, formerly the Coffee Prince. Is he now the Chicken Prince?
I would not want to call him that.
I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not stating.
Yeah, that was posed as a question. Correct. Meanwhile, the fast break attack comes up empty for the Magnolia Hotshots. Chance to tie now. JR Quinahan does exactly that. We said it was mid-range madness. Specialty of the house for JR.
The guy is just a phenom when it comes to short 17 or about 18. He's just a good, clean shot. He's got such a high release, and he puts that ball way up there. It's very difficult to block. Is that? Who is that?
That's Raul Soyud.
Oh no! And it looks like he's grabbing I don't know if it's a cramp. Not sure.
At this point, you're just hoping that it was bumped, that it was knee to knee, that there was some sort of collision there.
He's in a world of pain right now. You can only read his lips saying, "Suck it, suck it."
We're hoping, of course, that it's nothing too serious for Raul Soyud, but when the player grabs his knee, you just always automatically get nervous.
Yeah, he slipped. Oh no! Oh no! That's not good.
Doesn't look good.
But the way he grabbed it, yeah, he grabbed the knee. Tough. He slipped, and I think that's where it happened.
42-all, we'll take a break. Back inside the Don Honorio Ventura State University Gymnasium as the NLEX coaches, training staff are trying to see if Raul Soyud is okay. Of course, do not want to see any injuries happening. You know, it's a tough situation to be in already with COVID, with all the testing, with players having to play every other game. So you're just hoping that all of them stay safe and healthy in the competitions.
Especially that kind of injury.
Yeah.
We're just praying it's nothing more than simple sprain or a contusion or something. Nothing worse. Because that's not just a bump. It could be something worse. And just pray that he'll be okay and he'll be so good once again.
Meanwhile, picking things up with the beast Calvin Abueva, short arming a one-hander. Ball will stay on their side though. Just the effort coming from Calvin, not quitting on the play just yet.
Again, we talk about it, tenacious. They don't stop. They just keep going right up in your face to the bitter end. Forcing a turnover. Oh, that's kind of an illegal pick. That's what Kevin Alas is also saying.
Mark Barroca missing. Rebound for Oftana, and the NLEX Road Warriors are off and running. Yep, blocking foul. He was not in position to take that one, even if it did look like Oftana was out of control.
It did. Looked like he lowered his right shoulder there, went right into Rome De La Rosa. It looked like he was actually trying to take the charge as well, but not able to get his feet square.
Yep, did not get there. Split second away, but good call by the referee, and that will also put Magnolia into the penalty situation for the final minute and 49.5 seconds of this first half. Quinahan goes to Cruz. Cruz attacks baseline. Defense all over him. Good little fake coming from Jericho.
5'11" guard taking on the big boys inside. What a wonderful head and shoulder fake. Got them all flying. And he said, you go. I'll wait for you to go up there. And when you're coming down, that's when I go up.
2-point lead for the Road Warriors. Calvin Abueva.
Good deep by Miranda.
Attacking, creating for Ahan Misi. Barroca. One-hander. That's good off the glass.
How do you stop that? I mean, he's got such good, breaks. He can easily pull up for those pull-ups, but that one was a one-footed, looked like PJ Simone style shot off of the glass. Impeccable.
And he is the first player to hit double digits in this ball game with 11. Good entry pass coming from Miranda again. These bigs are creating for each other for NLEX.
Good pass and a wonderful, deep presence inside. Just a great block off.
Will Magnolia go to Barroca? Once again, he has had the hot hand so far. 4 seconds to shoot. Hard show. That was a little too tough. Oh, but the foul will be whistled against Alas, I think.
Yeah, and I think Miranda. I think. Because he leaned into it. And, of course, he's such a big kid. And when he hits a guy like Barroca, who's got about 4 inches below him. Oh,
the call was on Alas, holding on to the screen.
Right. Oh, pick your foul, I guess. Look at Rafi.
I was just about to say that in terms of just pure percentages, you would much rather have Rafi Rivas on the line compared to Mark Barroca, but
if you're NLEX, of course. But he made
Rivas
it.
Also a reliable free throw shooter.
It's contagious. When you're shooting bad, it seems like everybody's shooting bad. When you're shooting good, everybody can do it.
Split from the line for Rivas. 1-point lead for NLEX. 4-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Both teams already in the penalty situation. Kevin Alas up top, waiting for the screen to be set by Quinahan. They have the switch there. Oftana gives it back. Kevin Alas, the long three, no good. Rebound, put back, and one opportunity for Calvin Oftana.
Staying active, being aggressive, going for those offensive rebounds. A lot of good activity from Calvin Oftana, who gets that offensive board, goes up, takes the harm from Rome, able to put it down.
Good effort coming from the rookie As you said, we're still waiting for that, signature moment in his first ever conference in the PBA. It's not there yet, but he is working towards it, building towards it.
It's coming. It's not if, but when.
Calvin Abueva will not be able to beat the buzzer with that one-hander. So after leading by as many as 10 points in this ball game, the Magnolia Hotshots allow the NLEX Road Warriors to climb back into this contest. Even if Mark Baroka has already put up 11 points in this ball game, 13 turnovers hounded the Hotshots as it slowed them down offensively. J.R. Quinahan, Raul Soyud, Kevin Alas all chipping in to make sure that the NLEX Road Warriors will hold on to a slim advantage, 49-45, as we head on to our halftime break. At the half, your score is 49 for the NLEX Road Warriors and 45 for the Magnolia Pambansang Manok Hotshots. You're still watching PBA Rush. Carlo Pamintuan with Vince Hizon on the call, and a 10-point advantage turning into a 4-point deficit for Magnolia. What turned for them in the second quarter?
Well, obviously, again, down by 7 at the end of the first quarter. NLEX really went gangbusters from all over the place. Outscoring Magnolia 23-16 in the second quarter. And for me, the two big things were points in the paint. They outscored Magnolia 26-6 there, so a plus 20 advantage for them there. and their bench point. They got a lot of other guys involved. They were plus 12 there, 26 to 14.
The first quarter, the story was the three-point shooting of the Magnolia Hotshots and the inside scoring of the NLEX Road Warriors. Jackson Corpus, Jerica Hanmisi, Mark Baroka were able to get their three-point shots going. But the NLEX battled back with their bench. Quinahan, Trollano all doing well from the second unit of Coach Hengyao, unsurprisingly. And then in the second quarter, the Magnolia Hotshots just stopped taking three-point shots. They were 6 of 8 in the first quarter and then only took 3 attempts in the second, not making a single one.
Well, I think they deliberately put in a lineup to really try to attack the inside defense of NLEX and sort of took out the three-point shot in the meantime. But we look at some really amazing shots like that one by Mark Baroka going off the one leg.
Well, with Paul Lee struggling from the field at 1 of 6 right now, Mark Baroka has no other choice really but to try and carry the offense for the Hotshots. Meanwhile, balanced scoring coming from NLEX. Look at the paint and bench points for the squad of Coach Hengyao, as these halftime stats are brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA.
Once again, the paint, points in the paint and the bench points really tremendously on the side of NLEX. The Magnolia team just sort of stopped shooting, like we said, after the first quarter, and they allowed NLEX to come back into this ballgame.
Now moving forward to our leading scorers, Mark Baroka, the only player in double digits right now, leading the way for the Magnolia Hotshots, followed by Corpus, who scored all of those 8 points in the first quarter. Hanmisi, all of those 6 points in the first quarter, and then Lee and Abueva combining for 11 on the other side. The big men, Quinahan and Soyu, doing so well for the NLEX Road Warriors. But again, posing your question, will Soyu be fit enough to return in the second half? We know how important he is to the cause of NLEX.
Well, he's definitely a big plus for them. He was their second leading scorer before he went out with what looked like to be some kind of a knee twist or knee injury. But we're actually still waiting for the report on if he'll be able to play or how severe his injury was.
Oh, good drive to open the third quarter for Jericho Cruz. Looked like the defense of Magnolia was caught flat-footed with that attack.
Good accounting for himself for Jericho Cruz. 5 points, single board, and 3 assists, but he's really getting other guys involved, not forcing the action.
Good counter though coming from Magnolia as they went to Ian Sanganang to try and establish him down low. Was not really a huge factor on offense in the first half of play with only 2 points. That is his first field goal of this ball game.
Again, once you can establish a good inside presence, it's going to open up things from the outside. As we look at Quinahan, once again trying his luck in the mid-range.
Na veterano. Oh, an offensive foul.
Because Baroka
clipped him.
He will call it chicken winging.
Yep.
He tried to trap the guy's hand underneath his armpit, and when he twisted, it's an interesting call. It's not called that much, but I agree with the call.
I was about to say that Mike Ayon was on the receiving end of a veteran move from Mark Baroka. Apparently, the referee saw something else.
Well, now they're going to get Lee. Give credit to NLEX for just attacking the offensive boards, really challenging the defensive blockouts for the Hotshots.
2 early fouls for the Magnolia Hotshots. Of course, only 1 will count, as the first one was an offensive foul. Straight away 3, Mike Ayon missing. 2 Magnolia Hotshots fighting for the same loose ball, but they do keep possession. Paul Lee, Jackson Corpus, Calvin Abueva, Ian Sangalang, and Mark Baroka on the floor for Coach Chito Victolero.
Just a little bit late on the pass. Corpus was open, but credit to Ian Sangalang, who's there to clean up the mess and finish strong at the basket.
Ian Sangalang starting to put in the work, back-to-back buckets inside. Good short pass coming from Jackson Corpus. And the foul whistled against Sangalang, drawn by Sangalang rather, against Quinahan. He will complete the end-one play.
That's a good sign for Magnolia.
It's Ayon, Quinahan, Mike Miranda, Jericho Cruz. And Don Trollano has a 5 to start the third quarter for Coach Yang Yao as another foul against Paul Lee.
You know, normally I would say that's a very good matchup, evenly matched, Jericho Cruz versus Paul Lee. But you got to remember, Paul Lee's still coming off a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
Still got that thing, neoprene brace on it, or sleeve on it, I should say. So, you know, it's not easy anyways to stay in front of a quick guy like Jericho Cruz, much less when you have a little bit of a nagging injury.
Another offensive rebound.
Oh, they're still
As
locked
Don
up.
Trollano converts from downtown. Miranda and Jackson Corpus took their time trying to get up from that collision, opening things up for Trollano, who hits the triple.
Locking horns inside. We love to see the action. You know, this conference, I've noticed the referees are really letting the action go, and you're seeing a lot of physical battles inside.
That's his second, 2 for NLEX.
It's fun to watch.
Shot clock at 14 seconds.
The picked up, the intensity picked up certainly when the action shifted to Pampanga. Even the scoring.
A lot of good things happening. Let's look at this steal and breakaway there by Jericho Cruz, who's really turned on the afterburners here in this second half.
Really taking seriously the leadership role that will have to be with him. And another turnover against Magnolia.
Had the right idea, but when Corpus moved, he tried to take the pass back, but it was too late.
Traveling violation against J.R. Quinyahan, apologizing for the error. 56 to 50, a 6-point advantage. Look at this one more time. Don Trollano wide open from deep with Magnolia missing a defender. And it's just the quick hands coming from Jericho Cruz. Read that play perfectly, stole the pass and scored on the fast break opportunity.
They were teammates at Adamson. Trollano now with 10 points, Cruz with 9.
Ian Sangalang down low missing. And that will be another loose ball foul against Corpus.
Again, we keep saying the word, but I'll just keep going because it's so true. Relentless. They don't stop. Even if you've got clear possession of the ball, they're going to slap at it. They're going to poke at it. They're just going to try to knock it free. They are a defensive-oriented team, and they really are coached well. Coach Tito Victorino has really gotten every guy on this team to really buy in to the game plans that they have, and they all do it very well.
Missed there on the mid-range coming from J.R. Quinyahan as Mark Barroca goes to Jackson Corpus, gets the ball back. Nice pass. The extra pass goes wayward. Another turnover against Magnolia. Jericho Cruz on the attack.
Strength. Not only fast, he's very strong. Like surprisingly strong. A lot stronger than he looks, Jericho Cruz.
The problem though for Magnolia, Vince, is that in terms of taking care of the ball, they're actually one of the best in the PBA. Only 14.4 turnovers on average per ball game, but now 17 turnovers after that one from Corpus.
Wow. Well, got to refocus on what makes sense. See, you can see Mark Barroca is really trying to refocus everybody and say, hey, come on, let's go. This isn't our style of ball.
Because that was the 4th turnover of Jackson Corpus.
And when it comes to things like that, you always have to wonder as well, because of the quick turnarounds, the 48, 72-hour turnarounds to play your next basketball game. You got to wonder, aside from the physical aspect, your mental, how is your focus going into this game? Because if you start floating, you got problems. If we look at the perfect shooting of Barroca, 6 out of 6 from the free throw line.
Of course, the additional challenge of not being with your family, being, you know, at a hotel with your team 24/7. It's just some of the things that these players have to deal with, as another 3-point shot is converted by Don Trollano, his 2nd of the 3rd quarter.
Wow. Don now with 13 big points in this ball game, and you know that's a great sign. We talked about it. First quarter, it was really Magnolia shooting well, especially from the outside, and second quarter they stopped shooting. I was saying if NLEX would have shot the ball well from three-point land in the second quarter, they would have really opened up an even bigger lead.
Fouls on the 3, Paul Lee. That's his 3rd, 4th team
Oli still could not get himself going on offense in this ball game
Oh.
as he commits another foul. That'll be the third personal for Paulie, all here in the third quarter. As Jerick Ahanmisi, who had a very strong start, will check back into the ball game.
You know, we talked about instant three-point shooting and the need for it, especially in the modern game. You got to really spread the court. Guys like Jerick Ahanmisi would really be more and more valuable because he can really fill it up from all angles, and he's not shy to pull the trigger.
20-point turnaround so far for NLEX from down 10 to up 10. Ahanmisi having trouble, gives the ball up to Abueva. Calvin, straight away three, wayward. Another rebound for Cruz. Roliano will not force the issue with the defense already set for the Blue Shirts. Cruz uses the Quinahan screen. Goes back to JR, fakes a three, dribbles in closer. Quinahan tried to outsmart Rafi Rivas, but Rivas says, I've seen a couple of those happen.
Yeah, he attempted to do the Kili shot, popularized by Marlo Aquino, but those long arms of Rafi Rivas are there to snuff it out.
8.6 to work with for NLEX. Mike Ayon to Quinahan. Extra pass, Miranda for three. There's a foul and he converts.
Miranda with a possible 4-point play opportunity takes the harm from Mark Baroka and just drains it. Wonderful shot. Back of the net. Look at it once again. He just lines up and Baroka just closes out a little too aggressively. Gets whistled for the foul. Miranda's pumped up.
Look at this, the NLEX Road Warriors catching fire here in the third quarter. Outscoring Magnolia 16-7 as they built a 13-point lead. Who will answer back for the Hotshots? Abueva, that familiar push out comes up short. Quinahan with a rebound.
You just got to say, first quarter was pretty much Magnolia's first quarter, but second and third quarters really on the side of NLEX. Oh.
A little too deep here for Trollano as the Beast takes the ball away from him.
Don Trollano goes between the legs, literally, not the ball, but his whole body of Ian Sangalang. He more or less got dragged by Calvin Abueva.
Yep.
They both had the ball.
But if you hang on to the ball against
Yeah.
Calvin Abueva,
Yeah.
it would be a problem.
It's like a fish that's a little too big for your reel and rod. It's just going to pull you out.
Oh, this is certainly
Oh, it's
good to
great.
see. Raul saw you
Oh.
checking back into the contest.
Praise God for that. I was so happy to see him
Yep.
back. I was nervous. It looked, whenever you, like you said, whenever you see somebody grabbing the knee, you're like, oh no, that's not a good sign. But it's great to see him back.
Ian Sangalang made a couple of early baskets here in the third. Lost his grip, dove for the loose ball. Oh, that's a kick. Who
they're
kicked?
gonna-
Oh, a loose ball. Loose ball foul against?
Take your pick again. Everybody's going for that loose ball.
NLEX Road Warriors.
Looks like the call will go against Mike Ayon.
This timeout is brought to us by
As this timeout is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. 14-point advantage for the NLEX Road Warriors against Magnolia. Back inside the Don Honorio Ventura State University gym, where the NLEX Road Warriors are threatening to pull away against the Magnolia Hotshots. Pambansang Manok, they've outscored them 17-7 here in the third quarter for this 14-point lead. Abueva momentarily open, and he converts for three.
The Beast has been around long enough. He realizes you have to refocus. And they're doing just that. I'm sure they were reminded by Coach Tito Teclero in the last time out. You know, this isn't their brand of ball. They got to keep going. Oh! And there they let go Jericho Cruz. You can see he's feeling good. He's got his confidence and his rhythm.
That was the first three-point conversion for Magnolia since the opening quarter, as the Beast is starting to put in the work.
Back to back for him. The Beast doing his job. He's got 9 points, 2 boards, 2 assists in his ball game.
Trying to match the effort of Jericho Cruz now here in the third quarter. Cruz with a nice pass to Porter down low, and that will be an end one opportunity.
Great pass, great effort by Porter. Of course, Abueva doesn't like the call so much. Look at this, once again, Cruz gets the attention of everybody. A little bit of a sell by Abueva to fall on the ground there, but a good effort by Porter.
Bonus free throw for Chris Porter.
So everyone chipping in to the cause for the NLEX Road Warriors, as Porter completes the N1 play.
Smooth.
No, Coach Yengyao would be the first to say that no one player can fill the void left by Kiefer Ravena, but everyone from NLEX is willing to chip in, you know, the small things, anything and everything that they possibly could.
Again, the things that Kiefer brings to the table, irreplaceable. But, you know, I always look at it as well. It's an opportunity for those guys who aren't getting as much touches or shots to step up. And if it's your, you know, want to get more playing time and to get more shots, you got to convert. So it's a good situation for a lot of people in one respect as well. Step up, you know, do what you got to do, and you'll be honored and granted a lot more playing time.
And that's where Coach Yengyau's mentality of giving players minutes, giving them starts, plays in, because, you know, his players are ready to see action at any given time.
Because you have to be. They force you into that situation. You know, some guys know, I'm a 6th man, I'm a 7th man, I'm going to come off the bench. You just know when you're going to come in, and you know pretty much about what time in the quarter or the game you're going to go. But with that kind of a situation, you don't know. So you have to be ready, like you said, at all times. It could be one day you're starting, the next game you're playing at the end of the first half. You don't know. Big numbers from Calvin, 11 points, make that 12 points now to go with, you know, a lot of categories being filled in. He's really filling up the stat sheet, Calvin Abueva.
The pressing defense, that's unfortunate for Rome De La Rosa, as they are in penalty.
A good effort. Again, they're defensive minded. They're going for those steals. They're really playing hard, trying to get it. But you also have to wonder at this juncture, we're getting, you know, towards the end of the third, going to the fourth, maybe, how are those legs feeling? They just came off a very tough game against the mighty Chopang Giga of TNT. So you got to wonder how those legs, you know, those little knees and ankles and lower backs and all that stuff, how you doing right now? Is it playing a factor?
Rome De La Rosa exits. In comes Aris Jonicio, the youngster, sophomore for the Magnolia Hotshots. A struggle for Rome De La Rosa so far, as Magnolia has been a minus 14 in the minutes that he has been on the floor.
Good defense there by Porter.
Don Trollano, the leading scorer of this ball game right now. Porter, mid-range jumper. Everyone's just so confident.
Porter is delivering. Defense and offense.
How about 9 points on 4 of 4 shooting in the ball game for Porter? leading to this 15-point NLEX advantage. Strong move coming from Ian Sangalang. Exactly what Magnolia needs right now.
Smart move by Sangalang. Really attacking Raul Soyud. Wondering, let's just test it, see how that leg is feeling that you injured. See if you can move it.
Disruptive defense coming from Mark Barroca, but the ball will stay with the white shirts. 15 in the shot clock. Similar themes in the last few games of NLEX against Alaska, against Phoenix. It'll be a tight first quarter, but then they figure things out and start upping their performance in the third and fourth quarters. Ooh! As Calvin Abueva returns the favor. Chris Porter got an N1 against him earlier. Now the Beast will try to get it back.
The Beast will not be denied. Always a big factor. He jumps kind of sideways, not a lot of contact, but just enough for the referee to blow that whistle. And Calvin knows what to do when the whistle is blown. Throw it up. You might get three-point play.
Calvin Abueva will be shooting the bonus free throw when we come back from this timeout. 74 NLEX, 63 Magnolia. You are still locked in on PBA Rush. Carlo Pamintuan and Vince Hizon on the call as we thank you for hanging out with us. The NLEX Road Warriors doing so well here in the third quarter. And it has been Don Troliano leading their attack on offense. 15 points in the ball game for him.
Shooting a very high percentage and really staying active. The recipient of a lot of those drive, draw, and dish passes, like that one from Jericho Cruz. Don Troliano lighting up the scoreboard.
But Calvin Abueva doing his best to do the same for the Magnolia Hotshots on the other side as he hits 15 points also after that free throw.
The pesky one, Gio. Again, just because you have the ball doesn't mean you're going to keep the ball. You really have to, Coach Jaworski used to tell it to us, squeeze the ball. Like, really impact the ball, put as much pressure as you can, so even if they hit it, it's not going anywhere. There's really a knack to how they swipe at it. In old days, you would say, hit down on the ball, just whack it, whatever. But, the guys like Johnny Albarrientos, again, they popularized it. If you hit up on the ball, if you look at the numbers of Chris Porter, 10 points, make that 11 points for him. If you hit up on the ball, the tendency of the referee is not to call it, even if you do make contact. So, again, it's really an art that they've studied. They watch film on how to do it, and they really work on it, so it pays dividends.
Oh. Good move coming from Sangalang, but he overshot the mark. He's asking for the foul. Referee's not biting. As Magnolia will request another foul. Look at the Beast trying to control Ian Sangalang. We've seen it so many times happen in reverse. It's Ian trying to control Calvin, but now a 12-point lead still for NLEX as Magnolia asks for another timeout. taking a look at the team standings right now and what is at stake for both these teams. If Magnolia pick up the win, they will be at the solo second spot behind the undefeated TNT Tropang Giga. If the NLEX pick up this win, they will be tied with the Meralco Bolts, who will not be seeing action this week, at the second spot behind the TNT Tropang Giga. Why is that important? Because the top two seeds after the elimination round will get a twice-to-beat advantage in the quarterfinals.
And if the season were to end today, our 7 and 8 respectively are Terra Firma and Ginebra. So it would be Ginebra versus Talkintex and Terra Firma Meralco if we ended today. And
Interesting matchups all around.
Yeah, and Ginebra with the never say die, twice to beat is sometimes nullified pretty easily. So, ooh, look at that speed by Gio.
Good creation, Paul Lee blocked though, but they get the ball back. Lee still struggling from the field. Paul Lee is 1 of 6 in this ball game. Anthony Semera converts from downtown.
The Road Warriors are firing on all pistons now. They're really spreading the court. They're taking pretty good care of the ball, I have to admit. You know, Magnolia is really trying to pressure their ball handlers, but they're doing a pretty good job getting the ball up the court, and a nice way to make that shot right there, especially by Samarad.
Magnolia Magnolia is doing a lot of pressure defense, but NLEX is playing solid half-court defense in this third quarter.
They are. Like I said, they're taking their time. They're not panicking. They're not rushing. They're really being pretty deliberate about getting the ball up court. So this once again, Alas just flips it up. Samarad open. Samarad makes. Got to boost his confidence as well. You know, I always say this, shooters just want to see the ball go through once. Once you see the ball go in, you're like, okay, now I know what to do. I've calibrated, maybe I'm missing a little left, sometimes a little right, whatever it may be. You make those in-game adjustments, and when you see it go through, you feel everything's good. Don't be surprised if you see a heat check soon.
That was the biggest lead of the ball game for NLEX at 15. But Calvin Abueva working on it. Split from the free throw line though. This will be a jump ball. The entry of Jackson Corpus already starting to pay dividends for Coach Chito Victolero.
Again, Corpus, not just very, very strong and athletic, he's very active. He's pursuing the ball whenever he can. So good, definitely a good pickup for Coach Chito in the offseason.
But Soyud picks up the ball as Jonicio is trying to pressure him. Easily broken by NLEX. Kevin Alas attacks, misses. As we swing back to the side of Magnolia. Gio rushing, dumps the ball to Jackson Corpus, who lost it on the way up.
Ball got pinballed around inside. Looks like it'll touch one of the Hotshots last, so turnover there.
Hayes makes waste in that particular play. Too quick for their own good.
They had numbers. They just... I think there's a technical foul, I think, that's being called against Coach Chito. Usually it's the other way around. Maybe he learns some... No, I won't say that.
Thank you for stopping.
Some things you learn, some things you unlearn.
Oh, Kevin Alas though missing that technical free throw. But they will retain possession. So the first 6 games of Porter, he totaled 12 points. He was 4 of 17 from the field. Now he has 11 points, a perfect 4 of 4 from the field.
Really playing well. Super high level. Oh.
And Panyamogan, that short one-hander won't work. Foul is called on with his reaction, looks like against Raul Soyud.
He looks like he's fired up again. He's got his hands behind his back, saying, what else can I do? Didn't think he fouled on the play, but they'll stop the clock and they'll march to the other side. Magnolia has got to shoot some free throws. They're in the penalty. Ooh, they've been missing. Outside of Lee and Baroka, the other guys are suspect from the free throw line.
14 of 18 from the stripe.
Corpus with 9 points now in the ball game.
You know, if you're Magnolia, you just, get a couple of stops here in the third quarter, end it on a good note. That might just power our run. Oh, that's a clear foul. That was a clear foul. He was hanging onto his jersey. A technical against Calvin Abueva.
I thought they'd get him for resentment to a call. And just a while ago, Abueva was the passivator guy, or the guy who was telling Sangalang not to get mad at the ref, but he grabbed. Yeah, it's an easy call.
Like how can you not call a foul?
I think there was 2 or 3 there. But
Calvin was grabbing his jersey. I mean, at least from that angle, it was.
It was
clear.
easy. Everything's easy in slow motion, I always say, but you gotta love the intensity. They're double teaming. You're really working hard on D. Can't fault the effort. Calvin knows they really need better play from everybody, not just him, but everybody's got to step it up a notch. They're down by a pretty big margin now.
Huge third quarter scoring for the NLEX Road Warriors, 32 points in this period alone. As they're now in complete control of this ball game. 3 for 3 from the stripe for Philip Panyamogan.
But so much time left. And we've seen these Hotshots shoot hot just like that. And they can shoot their way back into it.
That's certainly a good start for Aris Jonicio, converting on that corner 3-point shot. Cut their deficit to 13. Kevin Alas with a good move. Oh, missing on the layup.
He's had a couple right there that have been in and out.
Paul Lee attacking. Wild shot goes nowhere. Soyud with the board. Quickly forward to Alas. Kevin, the layup is good this time.
I always look at it, just a miracle player in a lot of ways, coming back from so many injuries, especially those devastating ACL injuries. I think he had 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken. And to be as fiery and as explosive as he is, it's pretty much a miracle to me.
Jackson Corpus to Paul Lee. Can he get himself going? He needs to.
Porter has been solid. He hasn't bit like it's been a lot of times where Calvin would do those pump fakes. That time Paul Lee, who you would think would definitely take that shot, still didn't fall for the pump fake just was wide open. Just got beat back door. Kevin Alas. Again, the basketball IQ with Paul Lee is off the charts, and he just sensed he had a little bit of an advantage and cut back door. And he has this absolute knack for going into you. It's kind of like a Sangalang or
he likes a contact,
or a Christensen Hardinger. When they feel you, they go right into you, and they make the referee call something. Dan Hardinger's really good at it, by the way.
If you don't bump him, it's like he feels weird.
There's something wrong. There's no contact. Come here, let me bump you.
2 for 2 for Paul Lee. Will those free throws get him going? As Kevin Alas trying to beat the buzzer. The layup is just short. Good attempt, though, coming from Kevin Alas as the NLEX Road Warriors continue to lead the way at the end of 3, 84-71 against Magnolia, heading into the 4th and final quarter of action. career high for Porter set in this ball game as he has been effective against the defense of the Magnolia Hotshots. He got the start from Coach Yang Giao, has played 40 minutes in the ball game, has 11 points, 2 rebounds, and a steal. He is a perfect 4 of 4 from the field and 3 of 3 from the stripe. In his 6 games, a total of 12 points, 4 of 17 from the field, but now perfect still as he will attempt to help the NLEX Road Warriors continue their winning streak and reach it to 4 as they hope to take down the Magnolia Hotshots Pambansang Manok, but still a lot of time remaining. An entire quarter of basketball to be played. A 13-point lead for NLEX as we thank you once again for joining us on PBA Rush. Carlo Pamintuan with Vince the Prince Hizon on the call. A sorry miss coming from Gio Halalo, and that was within striking distance. Could not find the bottom of the net.
It usually does, and going back to Porter, that guy definitely showed up. I mean, whatever he ate for breakfast, he should eat that every game day, do whatever he did to get ready for this particular ball game because he's really playing gangbusters today.
The rain's starting to pick up, so I hope that you're all staying safe at home. Please don't go out. There's a storm out there.
Stay with us.
Yep, hang out with us.
Much better to stay with us, right?
Avoid the rains, avoid the floods, avoid COVID. Stay at home, watch PBA action.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty decent day.
13-point lead for NLEX.
Ooh,
It's not an insurmountable margin, but just NLEX so confident in this ball game. Everyone who touches the ball does something good with it.
You hit the nail on the head when you said looking confident. Everybody from top to bottom is really looking cocksure and really they gotta, wow, look at that once again. Gio just trying to go get those steals once again. But going back to NLEX, seems like everybody is on the, the same track, looking good.
Porter, his first miss from the field as a foul is called against Magnolia.
We're gonna get Paul Lee getting caught with his fingers in the cookie jar there.
And it has been a gigantic struggle for Paulie. 1 of 8 from the field.
14 seconds on the shot clock.
He has 8 points out of 6 of 7 shooting from the stripe. But you can see that even the shots that would normally go in for Magnolia, they're missing them.
Yeah, like that last one of Gio Halalon as well. Like within 10 feet, but he back rims it. Again, you gotta wonder that last game of theirs versus Talking Text, how much did that really take out of them?
J.R. Quinyahan picks up his dribble and gives the ball up to Kevin Alas. He has Rafi Rivas on him. Speed advantage for Kevin. Alas creates corner pocket 3 ball.
Wow.
Signature move.
There it is. What a nice drive draw dish to Samrat from the opposite corner. Again, a little heat check for him. Again, but you can't fall in love with just shooting shots that aren't open. It's got to be within the offense. What a spin there by Paul Lee. And he'll get a foul from Quinyahan. And he is mad because he didn't get the call earlier. He really is fired up. You got to love the heart of a winner. Champion like him. Oh, man.
Paulie, of course, part of it is frustration that he can't get his offense going. And you're hoping that your effort, your aggression ends up with free throws.
Oh, and he misses.
Second miss in the ball game.
The guy who's shooting
96%. I think his numbers are 43 of 45 before this ball game.
Okay. Well, it's the announcer's jinx that we're giving him because, yeah, he's missed 2. 3 out of, so almost 80% now. I think 78.8. But that's a far cry from his 96%. As
he shouldn't be missing for the next 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
with the way things are falling for him.
Maybe
but
till October or something.
But NLEX, what a performance so far for this squad. You can see Magnolia trying to create with their defense as Gio receives the ball. Gio with a reverse layup. Gorgeous move coming from the Cyclone.
So fast, just so fast. I mean, we all know Jericho Cruz is quick, but Gio's quicker.
Another level of fast for Gio Halalon. Cruz with a good drive as he attracts the defense, draws a foul, and he will be heading to the stripe for 2.
Jericho taking advantage of his version of fast against a slower but much lankier Rafi Rivas. Able to really step on the accelerator there, get that contact from Rafi, but he misses the free throw.
Efficient game though from the field for Jericho Cruz, 6 of 8 for 13 points, even though he missed that first free throw. But if you're NLEX, even with this 13-point or 14-point lead, you cannot be too comfortable against a team as good as Magnolia.
Magnolia's, for me, always been a fourth quarter team as well, so you better watch out. It's far from over.
We haven't seen Barroca in a while now, as that 3-point shot will not fall for Aris Dionisio.
Look at all of those active hands trying to get that
And that should be a backcourt violation already. Sorry, an 8-second violation rather.
8 second. Great defense from the Hotshots, forcing that turnover by Semerad. But there was really nowhere else he could go. He was triple teamed. Guys were coming from all angles.
Shot clock at 14 seconds.
88-74, still 8:47 left to play here in the fourth quarter. This is only the first game of what would be a triple header. We have 2 more good ones for you a little later on. Dionisio from the other corner.
Big shot.
Still good.
Big shot. Nice extra pass as well. Hitting Dionisio for 3, and that's just what they needed. Only down by 11. Again, I told you this is a fourth quarter team, and they know how to win.
Cruz with the speed advantage against Sangalang. Cruz with the turnaround, the spin, no good on the shot. Another opportunity for Magnolia to inch closer. Lee against Semera, now Abueva against Cruz. Halalon reading the defense. Abueva wants a post up. Good pass down low, Dionisio to Sangalang. He makes the move, draws the foul. And that will lead to 2 shots. Look at Calvin pleading with Dionisio to take that shot. I already created for you. All you have to do is put the shot out.
Yes. But slowly but surely, those pleasant words from from Calvin, prodding his teammates to really go do what they need to do. It's really paying off dividends. And, you know, you got to give Coach Cheeto once again credit for getting them right back into this ball game. You know, I can see what he's doing as well. He's really trying to isolate and really expose the mismatches they're getting right now. Ian Sangalang with 11 points now in this ball game. I would expect if they continue to guard the way they're doing, Calvin Abueva will be on the block, posting up deep.
How about the magic bunot of Aris Dionisio, who has a couple of 3-point shots in this ball game after not even playing a single second in the first half?
Hey, he's been an asset for them in this second period. Oh, speaking of assets, Porter looking like an all-star out there today. Wow.
One of those days for Porter. Sets a new career high at 13 points. Ian Sangalang with a strong move.
You know, and going forward, as we look at that nice shot by Ian Sangalang, this is going to be the bar that Coach Yang Giao will hold Porter to in the next upcoming games.
Yep.
Hey, you did this against Magnolia. You better keep doing it in future games.
No, kaya mo naman pala eh,
There
di
you
ba?
go, exactly.
Kinyahan against the Beast. JR with a size advantage.
Ooh.
Could not score off the glass. Has another opportunity here for Magnolia. Paul Lee top of the key against Alas. Lee has been struggling from the field all game long. Halalon makes his move, dumps the ball down low to Ian. Double team already waiting for him. Paul Lee, the long 3, money!
Oh. Paul Lee from like 5 steps behind the three-point line, but that's you know, that's his territory. That's where he starts being aggressive and looking for that ball. Let's look at this once again. You don't usually guard guys from that far out, but for Paul Lee, that's like a layup.
And this timeout is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. Magnolia Hotshots starting to hum. The best of players find a way. Paul Lee, not his day so far from the field. He tried to get himself going from the free throw line and then hits this huge three-point shot, top of the key from, what, 3 feet from the three-point line. As he might just power this turnaround for the Magnolia Hotshots, only dealing with a 6-point deficit now. They were down by as many as 16 points in the third quarter. 6 minutes 20 remaining. And that's an offensive foul. The pass was a little off coming from Don Troliano, so Kenyahan had to do something extra to protect that ball.
Of course, he's denying any knowledge or anything that, you know, would commit him to a foul, of course. Of course, the beast, like we say, is tough as nails. Always has something happening to him every single game. Yeah, he can kind of ward it off with that right hand.
And then that elbow for good measure.
Yeah. You know, just to let you know I'm there. My name's GR. But he's also had a really good game. Sorry play for him.
Sangalang now. His pass somehow falls to Calvin as he's fouled down low. Third team foul of the Road Warriors here in the fourth quarter.
Gonna get Kevin Alas with that foul. Beast really heating up. 16 points in the ballgame for him with 3 boards and 2 assists.
14 seconds to shoot.
I think JR was not aware that it was already his 5th personal foul. Ian Sangalang down low, overshot the mark.
Good D by Miranda there. Looked like a sure 2 for Magnolia.
Jericho Cruz for 3, no good. Rebound tap to Abueva from Sangalang.
Uh-oh.
Paul Lee for 3, that's good again.
Paul Lee, 15 points in the ballgame, and he has super heated up, especially here in winning time in the 4th period.
Down by as many as 16 points in the ball game, now knocking at the door. The Magnolia Hotshots from Pambansang Manok being lifted by the lethal weapon, Paul Lee, as he is heating up right at the moment that they needed him to.
Yeah. You know, Carlo, just as we said a while ago, maybe this isn't Paul Lee's day, right? We were kind of alluding to that. You know, it wasn't, you know, his typical Paul Lee day, but right after that, I think he heard us and he just came out with some really monster 3-pointers, one from practically the half-court circle and that one from the corner. Huge shots.
And Jericho Cruz getting the ire of Coach Yang Giao in that particular timeout because he was the one who shot a 3-point attempt. And then I think it was Paul Lee, who was his assignment on defense, who ended up free on the other side.
What a difference a day makes. You go from best player to getting yelled at in the huddles. But again, he's pushing, Coach Yang Giao is pushing his players to be better and better.
And they know that this is a crucial junction of the matchup. As the Magnolia Hotshots are trying to turn the momentum around. That
Oh,
is a
bailout.
foul.
Bailout. They were down to less than 2 seconds on the shot clock. Magnolia commits the foul. I think that's the 4th foul of Gio.
Alalon a little too handsy there against Kevin Alas. Fresh 14 as a result for NLEX. Kevin Alas creating for Miranda. Attacks. Extra pass to Jericho Cruz. Oh, his pass stolen by Abueva. And now it's Magnolia building their confidence from their defense. The ball will stay on that side. Magnolia Pambansang Manok Hotshots call this time out. They're down by 3, 90-87. Less than 5 minutes remaining in this ballgame. Our games on Thursday, the Phoenix Super LPG Fuel Masters in a must-win ball game against the red-hot Terra Firma Jeep. And in Northport Batang Pier, finally seeing action once again against the Blackwater Bossing. But I believe they will not have head coach Pido Jarencio and a bunch of their other assistant coaches. Instead, it will be team manager Bonnie Tan who will be leading that squad as they attempt to restart their campaign in the Honda PBA Philippine Cup 2021. Calvin Abueva attacking, kicking it out. Jonisho another 3, not this time, as Cruz picks up the board. Aris Jonisho with a couple of important 3-point conversions here in the second half, missing that one in an attempt to tie the ball game. Trolliano missing on the banker as Abueva picks up another rebound.
A while ago, NLEX couldn't miss a shot. Now it seems like there's a lid on top of the rim. Nothing falling for the Road Warriors right now.
Paul Lee draws a foul. Uh-oh.
Let's see who this goes against.
That's it for Kevin Alas.
6 fouls. Graduating.
I don't think he was even aware that he had 5 fouls.
And he will troop to the bench with 9 minutes, or 9 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists in 28 minutes of action. Played well. Very aggressive. Trying to go inside, mix it up with the bigs. So we're going to have to get that deep penetration from somebody else.
Paul Lee misses from deep. As that play was set up well by the offense of Magnolia. Lee just could not knock it down. Another 3-point shot miss. Another opportunity to tie.
Yes.
Now, who will take charge? No Kinyahan. No Alas on the floor. Trolliano against Tanggalang. The long 2. No good. Abueva keeps gobbling the boards.
Look at the base. You better turn around, guys. Here comes the base.
Oh, nice pass to Jonisho for the basket and 1.
Give half of the credit, of course, to that streaking dribble, power dribble, speed dribble by Calvin Abueva all the way up court, just really passing up everybody. Dishes it off to Dionisio, who takes the contact from Soyud, goes up strong with the left, takes the contact, and just like that, they can tie up this ball game.
The defense of NLEX a little too lackadaisical there, a little too pedestrian.
Yeah, a little slow getting back on the defensive transition. Dionisio's really played a pretty good game. Like you said, just being inserted into the offense. Like I always tell players, you gotta be ready, no matter when, no matter where. You never know.
18-6 quarters so far in favor of the Magnolia Hotshots. Oh, not the best of looks coming from Semerad because his three-point shots are often set up, not coming off the bounce for him.
Yeah, it's usually a inside-out action or a drive kick.
And Sangalang gets the lead for Magnolia.
Just when you thought it looked pretty insurmountable, and we were up to 15-point deficit, here they come storming back.
The defense also starting to hold for the Hotshots. Raul Soyud losing control.
It's a good pass. He just couldn't grab it. Another turnover for NLEX.
Limited to just 6 points in the first 9 minutes of this quarter. NLEX all of a sudden quiet on offense as that one-hander is money for the Beast.
The Beast. Big shot for him. 18 points in the ball game to go with his 6 boards and 3 assists.
And Lex just looked shell-shocked at this point. J.R. Kinyahan for the tie. Won't get it. Rebound Semerad. Cruz goes inside. His pass tapped and saved by Trollano. 6 seconds to work with Don to Kinyahan. The mid-range jumper is good.
They needed that. That is like wind in the sails of their campaign here. They couldn't figure out how to get points on the board. Great shot there by J.R. Kinyahan.
We talked about it in the pregame. When they needed baskets, they always go to J.R. Kinyahan.
Mid-range master. Oh, nice steal there by... Oh, but a re-steal by Calvin. Calvin and Jericho really going at it. And as I mentioned, the Abueva always going hard and just takes so much beating, contact. And he's so tough. I'm sure he'll be back.
He will be revived by Jackson Corpus. Good read coming from Jericho, but look at this. Just diving for the loose ball. Throwing his body and arms away, calling the timeout. It's pinned down there by Cruz, who tried to get the ball back, and then the knee up the chin of Calvin Abueva says, basketball is tough. It's hard work. 93-92, a minute and 40 seconds remaining in this ball game. Calvin, the Beast Abueva, doing a little bit of everything here in the second half to help his team bounce back and now lead by 1. They did not have a lot of time remaining in the shot clock, so it will be a violation against the Magnolia Hotshots with 1:35. And NLEX led by as many as 16 points earlier in the ball game in the third quarter. But now Magnolia finds themselves up by 1. Still a lot of time remaining. 1:30 in this ball game. J.R. Kinyahan hands the ball off to Trollano. Mid-range jumper for the lead, no good. Rebound picked up though by Semerad. Kinyahan to Cruz against Barroca. Studying his options. Kevin Alas no longer in this ball game due to 6 fouls. Cruz makes his move. The layup is good.
There it is. Just the afterburners being put on by Jericho. Not a lot of people who can stay in front of him, and a good bounce back performance. He kind of took a dip there for a while. Look at it once again. It's just a simple crossover but man, does he have an accelerator there. This goes hard, takes the contact, able to put it down, and a good 2 points for him for their campaign.
Lead is back with the NLEX Road Warriors 94-93 timeout. Hotshots. Earlier in the fourth quarter, Jericho Cruz got a mouthful coming from Coach Yangyao, but now Cruz is saying, Coach, I get you, and I'll try to win this ball game for you.
Wow, he shot 7 out of 18 from the field goal, really shooting a high number. Good accounting of himself. Like you said, wait for him to really bounce back. You know, playing for Coach Yangyao is not an easy thing. You got to be tough as nails. And what Coach is really preparing Cruz is for, you know, when things really get tough, when you get deep into the playoffs and the pressure's really on, I'm sure he'll remember times like this where, you know, he got toughened up by Coach Yang.
16 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals for Jericho Cruz. Efficient, 7 of 11 from the field. Halalon has the ball for Magnolia. They're down by 1. Ian Sangalang.
Oh, Paul Lee is down. But he got hit in the, I think he's holding his throat.
And NLEX is in the penalty situation. So the 2-point shot of Ian Sangalang might be waved off, but that will send Lee to the free throw line for 2. The league's top free throw shooter so far will have the opportunity to tie and then take the lead for Magnolia from the stripe.
You know, it hasn't been the prototypical Paul Lee hot all game situation. But when it was needed most, he was there. He made those crucial long threes and corner threes. And just pray he makes these free throws so we don't jinx it. It's not my fault. I didn't mention it. I didn't say it. But, you know, he's really been unbelievable when he really needed it. He turns it on. The great players, the special players, just have that ability to say, okay, I'm turning it on. I'm pressing the button. I'm going to play, you know, above and beyond whatever is necessary from this point forward.
Good on the second free throw, but Paul Lee has missed more free throws in this ball game compared to his first 7 games combined.
Correct. It's not been the usual, but as we go less than a minute to go.
Almost a turnover there for Anthony Semera. 10 seconds to work with. Where is this play going for NLEX? Mike Miranda goes to J.R. Quinyahan. 5 seconds remaining. Jericho Cruz, the long 3. No good. Rebound for Sangalang.
There's 11, 12-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. That would have been huge if you would have made that. But now it's time to play defense if you're from NLEX.
Lee to Calvin Abueva against Quinyahan. 6 seconds remaining. Paul Lee splits the double, kicks it out.
Money.
Abueva for 3.
Big one.
No good. Cruz with the board. Oh, quickly forward to Miranda. But they will not force the issue. Winning time here. Last 5 seconds of the ball game. 94-94. Over the steal for Barroca.
We're going OT.
He did not want to call a timeout. No one wanted to call a timeout. Barroca with a big steal. It was something that was worth the gamble because they still had 1 team foul remaining. He took his chance, got the steal, and forced overtime at the end of the fourth quarter. The score, 94 for NLEX, 94 for Magnolia. We are going into overtime. And that was the final play of the fourth quarter. Cruz tried to do a little too much against the defense of Mark Barroca.
Yeah.
Magnolia had a timeout, but at that point, it was not enough for them to still call one and try to draw up a play for a chance to win the ball game.
Yeah.
But they will have the opportunity to win it here in the overtime period. Michael Miranda versus Calvin Abueva, the two Kapampangans jumping it up, and Magnolia wins the first possession of the overtime period.
And Abueva goes down after the jump ball. He got hit in the face.
Barroca goes to Sangalang down low. The push shot won't work. Halfway in.
Oh, that was 90% down. And somehow it came out. Just rips out. They're going to get Semrat for a blockout violation.
Another golden opportunity for Sangalang. Just could not find the bottom of the net. Abueva to Barroca. They can now go to Paul Lee. The long three, the looper. No good. Calvin picks up the offensive rebound. Misses with a putback. Sangalang, one more try. Nothing there. So many opportunities for the Magnolia Hotshots. Just could not take the lead in that possession.
Both teams really going hard. Magnolia really trying to finish. But you got to give credit as well to the Road Warriors. Just matching the effort, trying to get those boards. Oh, high-low action. Oh, the look was good to J.R. Kinyahan, who had him sealed, but he wasn't able to make it. He knows that was a big one if he would have.
But the ball will stay with the Road Warriors, 9.2 on the shot clock. Still tied at 94 apiece.
Gotta get the ball in bounds. Yep, they're gonna get him. 5-second violation. Good defense once again. You know, Magnolia has put a real big premium on making those stops, and when it matters most, their defense usually saves them.
Empty possession on both ends. Another chance now for Magnolia to take the lead. Barroca uses the Sangalang screen. Barroca picks up his dribble. His pass almost stolen. He gets it back as a foul is called. Might be against Cruz.
Yeah, they're both going for that loose ball. We always say that you got to pretend the ball is golden. It's worth a lot. Do not just give it away.
Fresh 14 on the shot clock for the Magnolia Hotshots. They have De La Rosa, Barroca, Abueva, Sangalang, and Lee on the floor. As Soyud returns to action, replacing Michael Miranda. Barroca against Cruz. Paulie pops out. Sangalang now, down low. Lee, another three on the way.
Oh, another in and out. 90% down as well.
Another good look for Lee, still not working, still tied at 94. Kinyahan for three, that's money!
What a big shot by JR.
And then a foul was whistled just as Kinyahan was knocking down the three-point shot.
It looks like Rosoyo grabbing his shoulder. Again, when these shots go up, the war begins underneath in the shaded lane. These guys are using all those muscles they've been developing in the weight room.
So we will have a review first to determine if that three-point shot will count and then what kind of foul will be called. But from the looks of it, the shot was already up before the contact between Soyud and Paul Lee.
Yeah, Soyud's still here by the short 17 when the shot is released already.
Oh, it was Sangalang.
Sangalang just giving him the cold shoulder. That hurts, but what a nice shot there by J.R. Kinyahan. Usually known for his mid-range madness, but there he extends it to 3 points. Something else.
4-point play in the offing for the NLEX Road Warriors. Kinyahan with a triple, Soyud with a bonus. And he will miss.
Both of
3-point
these
lead for
teams.
NLEX.
Now you got to wonder about both teams and their legs. You know, this is where you have that, we call it the gut check. You got to dig down deeper and deeper because this is a winning time, but you've been on the court for so long. And a nice dish off and finish there by the Beast once again in the middle. Just all-out effort by the Beast.
The Pinatubo duo connecting for that important basket. Magnolia still down by 1, 97-96. 6 seconds remaining in the shot clock for NLEX. Don Trollano makes his move. Trollano loses his grip on the way up. The ball will go back to Magnolia.
Anytime you drive, anytime you go inside, you gotta squeeze that ball, as we say. Look at this. What play once again by Ian Sangalang to the cutting Calvin Abueva. You call it the Pinatubo duo. I love that. That's wonderful. That's exactly what they are. I think they erupted pretty good right there.
Sangalang back, posting up. Cross-court pass to Gio. Fakes the three, spins. Halalon loses his footing. Aris Jonicio, the push shot, no good. And that is another Calvin Abueva rebound. He will be tied up, and it will be a jump ball.
Wow. Effort, effort, effort by both teams. And of course, Calvin Abueva is always in the middle of the, he calls it the fun, but it's the action inside. When there's some kind of a conflict or anything happening inside, you can never not expect Calvin not to be there. He's always right there.
The Beast will always be at the party. Invitation or no invitation, he will be right in the middle of it. Quinahan, and then Abueva, and then and then Soyud getting in on the mix.
He says, I'm inviting myself to this little party. The Beast.
Jump ball between Calvin Abueva and Raul Soyud.
The Beast has got the advantage, but it looks like NLEX trying to go for that steal. Oh, they got it. That's a big possession. That could play out to be even bigger than you think.
Especially if NLEX scores in this situation. 14 seconds in the shot clock. Quinahan reading the defense. He goes to Jericho Cruz. Cruz attacks baseline. The layup is good.
Again, the acceleration of Jericho. He just goes from 0 to 100 so fast.
Oh, but Calvin Abueva with an and one opportunity on the other side.
He just threw it up. Felt the contact off of his right side, throws it up. Look at this. 0 to 100 for Jericho Cruz. Takes some contact, I thought, from Sangalang as well. He'll put it down, but look at this nice pass from Gio. And the Beast goes up, feels it, and he's really feeling good.
Chance to tie now for Abueva. Gets the free throw to go. 99-99, less than 2 minutes remaining in our first overtime period. 23 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals with 2 blocks for Calvin. Another all-around performance for the Beast. Anthony Semerad to Quinahan. Left open for 3. No good. Semerad with the offensive rebound, being bothered, but he is fouled by Calvin, and they are in the penalty.
The door was open for NLEX to make that one. JR just made a three-pointer in the identical place not so long ago, but that one rims out. But look at this. Good effort by Semerad to go inside. And you saw it once again. Gio Halalon swiping at that ball. If you bring it down, that's when the guys that are littler or smaller have the opportunity to go get that ball. That's why they always tell big guys, when you get the rebound, keep it high.
First free throw is good for Anthony Semera. That is actually his first free throw attempt in this ball game.
And this is winning time. Everything is important. Everything gets put under the microscope. Free throws made, free throws missed, turnovers here and there. These are the things that really spell the difference between W and L.
Friendly bounce for Semerad on the second. NLEX with a 2-point lead, 101-99. They're looking for their 4th straight victory. Magnolia looking for a bounce-back win. Abueva attacks. He is denied. Denied completely by Quinahan.
JR doing a lot of things on offense, but right there, what a defensive gem against Calvin Abueva. Just timing it perfectly. Goes up. Looked like Calvin thought he had the advantage, but JR really closed that gap fast, didn't he?
And the ball bounced off of the head of the beast, giving the ball back to NLEX. Looking for a 2-possession lead right about now. Cruz against Barroca, uses the Soyud screen. Missed connection there. Kinyahan and Cruz not on the same page, turning the ball over and giving Magnolia another opportunity to tie or even take the lead, as Coach Chito Victorero will request a timeout. 63.6 seconds, 2-point lead for the Road Warriors. Winning time once again at the Don Honorio Ventura State University Gym in Bacolor, Pampanga. JR Kinyahan, not that efficient, not his usual efficiency from the field, but still good enough for 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists for the Road Warriors. Hit a big 3-point shot earlier in the overtime period that gave them a little bit of separation against the Magnolia Hotshots. But NLEX is not yet out of the woods. Magnolia will trigger this play from the opposite side to get the full 24 on their shot clock instead of 14 at the half. As it will be Barroca, Abueva, Lee, Jonicio, who's getting a lot of burn here in the second half, and Sangalang as a 5 for Coach Chito Victorero. Oli looking to Calvin. 8 seconds remaining. Abueva kicks it out. Barroca.
Oh, nice
block. Abueva with 3 seconds left. Another good stop for Cruz as he takes the ball away.
What a defensive gem there for the Road Warriors. Really come up with the goods. First the block shot, then the steal by Jericho Cruz. Oh, it's all about execution.
Cruz against Lee. He makes his move. Cruz pull-up jumper. That's good!
The guy's been under the microscope, been under the gun, and he delivers when it matters most. 20 points for Jericho Cruz to go with his 6 boards and 8 assists. Again, Coach Yengyao just keeps pushing you to get you better and better. And, he really spurred him on to this one, taking advantage of the speed that he has against Ian Sangalang, made him back up, hit the brakes, and hit the shot.
Created the separation, had enough elevation to take the shot as he doubles up on their advantage. And NLEX up by 4, looking good in this matchup against the Magnolia Hotshot. it has been a roller coaster of emotions for Jericho Cruz, from being the hero to being the goat to being on the receiving end of a tongue lashing coming from Coach Sheng Giao. But he managed to rise above it all and can perhaps the most important basket of the ball game. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists in this contest for Cruz.
You really got to give him credit. Again, Coach Giao will push you. He'll make you reach deep and deeper into your bag of tricks. But anyways, let's just talk about that later. Most important right now is this last play for, I thought they were going to call it an offensive call, but anyways, huge play now. We're in the last few seconds of this ball game. Magnolia down by 4.
But this is certainly something that is a welcome sight for Coach Chito Victorero. Poli on the free throw line with 2 opportunities to score with the shot, with the clock not moving.
Just extend the ball game as much as you can. And after he makes these, first try to get that steal off of the inbounds. Because the NLEX technically doesn't have to shoot. Technically, I mean, if they can run the clock out, they would.
13.4 seconds remaining in the first overtime. Paulie, the second free throw, also good.
Yep. Stranger things have happened. Leads don't seem comfortable unless there are 2 or 3 possession ball games with this time left, but this is a 1 possessioner.
2-point advantage for NLEX. They will call this timeout. So the tactic here for Magnolia, as you said, give yourself a couple of seconds to go for the steal. If not, you have to give up the foul if you're Magnolia. And hope that NLEX will end up missing a free throw or 2. But look at the all-defense crew that Coach Chito Victorero has on the floor. Everyone capable of picking up a steal, of pressuring.
This is probably the most important inbound play that NLEX will have in this game. They got to get the ball in.
Oh, they're having trouble.
They almost got that 5-second violation, as again happened earlier. NLEX got to do something to get that ball safely inbound.
We'll take another quick break. 13.4 seconds remaining in this ballgame. Magnolia Hotshots dealing with a 2-point disadvantage, 103 to 101 against NLEX. Here's the inbound. Oh, they go to JR Quinyahan, pass it out, and now Cruz will draw the foul from Calvin Abueva. Cruz will be stepping to the free throw line for 2.
Living dangerously was that inbounds pass and play by NLEX. It almost got swiped out of the hands of JR Kenyan, but he was able somehow, some way to get it to a teammate. That was a close one.
First free throw is a miss for Cruz, and that will leave the door slightly open for the Magnolia Hotshots.
Could have sealed it. Again, if they make both of those free throws, it would have been a two-possession ball game. But even if he makes this, Magnolia has a chance to go down, hit a three, and knock it into a second overtime, perhaps.
Second free throw for Cruz is good. And that is at least a 3-point lead for them. Coach Chito Victorero requesting a 30-second timeout with 10.5. Quick algebra, would you want them to go for the quick two, or is it do or die time? Do you go for the three?
Well, if you get it to one of your obviously stellar shooters, and that would be, of course, like a Paul Lee or maybe a Baroka if he's open, you might as well go for it. Or Dionisio, who's been shooting pretty well, you go for it. But you know, again, it's looks like he's drawn up a play to you know, obviously get the best shot possible. If you can get a quick two, get a foul or a steal, you still come out with this victory. But you know, 10 seconds is not a lot of time, so you really have to go for that first inbounds. It looks like he's doing a double down screen to, I think it'll be a Paul Lee coming up for the shot on top.
Top of the key, yeah.
But it can also be him doing a decoy maneuver. He'll get the ball, everybody converges, and he'll kick it off to somebody who can also make it.
On the flip side, though, if anyone else other than Paul Lee catches the ball, or Mark Barroca for that matter, do you foul if you're NLEX?
You could, technically, but you know, I think you should just try to play straight up defense. You know, same problem for Magnolia is here as well. They have to get the ball inbound. So
easy inbound for Magnolia. Here we go. Mark Barroca has it. Oh, contact away
Lee.
from play. Aris Dionisio for three for the tie. He's fouled and he hits the three.
He did it. It looked like they were obviously trying to go to Paul Lee on the opposite side of the court, but Dionisio stepping up when it matters most, hitting that shot. Now there is still 1.3 seconds to go though. Another chance. Let's look at this once again. See Dionisio go up. And it could have been a little contact with JR Kenyahan.
I will send you back to the PBA bubble. Paul Lee with a late 4-point play against this very team, drawing a foul from Anthony Semerad. And now, a conference after Aris Dionisio, who did not play a single second in the first half, was pulled off cold off the bench by Coach Chito Victorero. Hits a huge triple and is on the line right now to possibly give Magnolia the lead.
With 2.4, they reviewed the play. They added some time. There was 1 point something left a while ago. Now it's 2.4. Aris Dionisio really slamming the door in the face of NLEX, saying, hey, you should not have given us this chance. Now they can perhaps get, and I feel, steal that W.
Broken play already. Aris Dionisio rescues them. The free throw won't work. He gets the ball back. Dionisio for the win. No good.
Oh,
we are going into double overtime. Woo!
He had the chance to make it right there. But again, here we go. Double overtime in the offing. You know, it's at that time where, you know, guys don't have to say, hey, our legs are tired. Everybody's legs are tired, practically numb.
104 to 104. We would need 5 more minutes to determine the winner between the NLEX Road Warriors and the Magnolia Pambansang Manok Hotshots. This game is too good for 53 minutes to settle matters. We need 58 at minimum before we determine a winner between Magnolia and NLEX. Our second overtime period. Calvin Abueva still jumping it up, still having the energy in those legs to jump up for that one and win possession for the Magnolia Hotshots. Pambansang Manok, Carlo Pamintuan, Vince the Prince Season on the call. And this is the game that just keeps on giving.
We got a nail biter here, and Calvin hits the deck once again, so it's a 4 versus 5 situation. See if Calvin gets up. Now if they get running, oh, you gotta go.
Almost a jump ball situation forced there by Ian Sangalang. Open 3, Don Trollano. They had the numbers momentarily, but they could not take advantage of the opportunity.
Good box out by Mark Baroka. Always good. Whoever's shooting the ball, box it out. Oh!
The initial drive for Calvin Abueva, creating space for Ian Sangalang as he takes the lead for Magnolia, 106 to 104. This was almost a one-ball game for NLEX.
Yeah. They had a chance to ice it.
Layup will not work for Jericho Cruz as another rebound is gobbled up by Calvin Abueva. 12 rebounds in the ball game alongside 23 points. They go back to Sangalang down low against Soyud. No more JR Kinyahan. He fouled out earlier in the ball game, and back-to-back buckets for Ian inside.
Good start for Magnolia by Ian, especially in this first couple possessions of theirs.
Soyud for 3, no good. So NLEX rushing their offense a little bit here in the second overtime period. Quick pass, kick out pass to Paul Lee. Goes back to Calvin down low. Finds Ian. Ian makes his move, stops, turns around, and misses everything. Anthony Semerat, another early shot.
Yeah, another outside shot.
Luckily for them, the ball will stay on the side of NLEX.
NLEX not really getting into any flow on offense. They're just saying, hey, if I'm open, I'm going to shoot it. Kind of rush, like you said, 3 outside shots in a row. I think they'd be good. Just try to get some deep penetration and get some kickouts as we look at that wonderful lefty stab by Ian.
Nine seconds in the shot clock. Anthony Semerat makes his drive, draws contact, and he will be shooting 2 free throws.
That's what you need to do. You need to keep driving, force the Magnolia Hotshots to really play defense inside. I think he's done. Yes, Calvin has got his 6th foul, and that's a good thing for NLEX. At least you have one less thing to worry about. But not so good, obviously, if you're from Magnolia.
Because if you were going to bet on a player who could play like 4 more overtime periods after this, it should be Calvin Abueva for Magnolia. But Anthony Semerat with a couple of opportunities to inch NLEX closer, although he misses the first one. So in terms of the disqualifications, we have JR Kinyahan and Kevin Alas with 6 personal fouls for NLEX. We have Calvin Abueva on the other side. Rome De La Rosa also has 5. No one else in foul troubles for both squads after that. So this is a 3-point lead for Magnolia. I just feel horrible for whichever team loses this one, Coach.
You almost don't want it to end in a lot of respects. Such a great battle. Both of these teams very evenly matched, very well coached. And, you know, they've really gone hard today.
Barroca for 3. No good. Ian Sangalang swoops in for the offensive rebound. Fresh 14 on the shot clock for the Hotshots. Halalon. Top of the key against Panyamogan. Gio makes his move. The layup off the glass is good.
Wow. Give credit to Ian Sangalang for keeping that ball alive, giving his team another chance. And wonderful drive by Gio going straight down the pipe.
Looks like the legs of Magnolia just a little bit fresher here in the second overtime period as Cruz kicks it out. This is more like it for Semerat, but he misses the triple.
It's such a seesaw battle. Just when you think everything is on the side of NLEX, boom. And Magnolia is able to somehow turn it, 180.
Halalon attacking, kick it out to Barroca. De La Rosa spins, the hook shot won't work.
Good move, everything but the basket. Again, 5 points, it's not impossible.
NLEX surely still in this ball game. They will need Jericho to create for them.
Mismatch inside, you got Barroca and Miranda.
Cruz
Big
settles
shot.
for three, too strong. There's a loose ball foul. It plays dead, boys.
Timber.
It's been dead for a minute.
Yeah.
But you just love the aggression coming from Jonicio and Miranda.
Yeah, and neither team wants to give an inch. I think it'll stay on this side.
Chris Porter, who's having a career ball game so
yeah.
far.
Hasn't played in recent minutes.
Yep. Coach Engia relied on his veterans on Soyud, Miranda, and J.R. Quinyahan, but now forced to play Porter with Quinyahan already out of this ball game.
Not a bad thing to put in a guy who's having a career game.
For sure. Philip Panyamogan, hook pass, Miranda,
Big,
top of
big,
the key,
big.
three, no good.
In and out. He's made a bunch of big shots today from there, but that one a little too strong.
Important possession here for the Magnolia Hotshots. They can really take control of this ball game with a basket here and now. Make it a 3-possession advantage. Gio goes to Ian. Ian with the attack. Short stab is good. Sanggalang taking over in the second overtime.
Ian Sanggalang now with 21 points in this ball game to go with his 8 boards and 2 assists. He's really keyed their attack here in this second OT.
21.6 scored here in the second overtime period. Look at the effort coming from Rom De La Rosa. And that might just be it.
That's huge.
What a comeback for the Magnolia Hotshots from Pambansang Manok.
Absolutely. Just when you thought, uh-oh, they're in trouble, the heart of the winner just shows itself. And this is a team that knows how to win, like I've said before. And they figure it out. The good teams do. Even when the odds are all against them, stacked against them, they figure out a way to turn it away, turn it around.
Led by as many as 11 points in the ball game, and then we're down by as many as 16 in the third quarter. But Ian Sanggalang, dominant in the shaded area here in the second overtime. As Gio Halalon decides not to try and get a basket anymore. After 2 overtime periods in this hotly contested ball game, the Magnolia Pambansang Manok Hotshots escape with a 112-105 victory against the NLEX Road Warriors. So many heroes for Magnolia. Of course, you can count Aris Jonicio, who sent the game into overtime. Ian Sanggalang, who took over in the second overtime. Polly, who had a couple of big 3-point shots. Calvin Abueva, who was good all throughout. And the best player of the ball game, we have to give it to the player who was there throughout this contest. Our next level player of the game is Calvin Abueva with 23 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and a partridge in a pear tree. And it's brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA.
I didn't know they also had 2 turtle doves out here in Pampanga. But yeah, the Beast just doing beastly things. The gutsy kid from Angeles, Pampanga, showing the hometown fans that he's definitely still got it.
What a performance from both squads. You have to tip your hats as well to the NLEX Road Warriors. They battled, they almost had it. But in the end, the Magnolia Hotshots Pambansang Manok crawled up in the rankings. 6 wins against 2 defeats, while the NLEX Road Warriors dropped to a deadlock with the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters at 4-3. Of course, TNT still on top of the pack. They will be seeing action in our next game against the San Miguel Beermen. So watch out for that one, the second of our triple header. And after that, we still have one more game for you. Yes, we have the best player and the winning
our
coach.
post-game interview, joining us are Magnolia Pambansang Manok Hotshots head coach Chito Victolero and our best player of the game, Calvin Abueva. Congratulations po sa inyong pagkapanalo. Calvin, sobrang hassle plays. Ano yung ginawa nyo sa overtime para makuha nyo yung panalo?
Nangyari kasi nung first game namin dito na sa Meralco na nasilat kami. Then second game against Blackwater na pursige namin pero hindi pa pala yun yung kumpiyansa namin. At mas malaki pa yung magiging motivation namin nung pagkatalo namin sa Token Text na ganun-ganun lang. Hindi namin napakita yung aggressive namin, energy namin at yung tulungan namin sa loob. At ngayon nakalaban namin NLEX, talagang binuhos namin. Sabi nga ni boss, ni Coach, buhos yun na kasi di na rin tayo magtatagal dito sa bubble. Baka actually makabalik na tayo Manila. Pero dito pa lang, trabahuin na natin. Kasi this our chance na makapunta sa top 2. Kaya yun, ginawa naman namin na nakipag-communicate naman yung mga guards namin, lalo na si Paul, si Gio, si Baroka, lalo si Ian, at yung mga bench namin nandun, nagbibigay mas lalong energy sa amin.
Okay. Coach Chito, endgame poise po dun sa sa boys nyo. Ano po sa tingin nyo yung crucial play na nagbigay sa inyo ng panalo?
Alam mo, it's all about the grit and determination. I think we're down by 17 on the third quarter. We just try to be composed. And ang sabi ko lang sa kanila, we just try to limit yung aming turnovers. At the same time, mababa lang namin yung lead in a single digit pagdating ng fourth quarter. And then yun, unti-unti, because of our determination, because of our hustle, it's a group of, this group of guys, I'm very proud kasi we don't give up yung talo namin sa Meralco, bawing-bawi dito sa ginawa namin. And I'm very proud of these guys. Yung tinrabaho nila, sobrang grabe. I think deserving nila na talagang manalo kasi sobrang trabaho. Second overtime, yung puso nila, yung energy nandun pa din.
Coach, talk about...
And these are your game highlights brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. First quarter, the story, 3-point shooting for the Magnolia Hotshots.
They definitely got off to a very hot shot, and everybody seemed to get into the party. There you got Jackson Corpus from the corner, really showing that they had to bounce back from the subpar shooting performance they had in the previous game.
But as always, the bench comes into play for Coach Yang Kiao. They usually turn things around, and that's exactly what happened with J.R. Quinyahan creating for Raul Soyo down low.
GR is not just a shooter, he can also dish with the best of them.
In the second quarter, Magnolia's offense still looked good, but J.R. Quinyahan started humming on offense, hitting those familiar mid-range jumpers.
Yes, the mid-range, guy who makes it happen from pretty much anywhere about 15, 18 feet. Does a great job, as does Alas, who really drove to the hole well.
Mark Baroka continued his stellar shooting in the first half of action, but NLEX slowly built their confidence with attacks like this one coming from Jericho Cruz, challenging 3 defenders from Magnolia and coming out with a basket.
Such a strong guard, able to finish around the basket even with the bigs around.
A slim 4-point advantage for the Road Warriors, but they had a lot of energy off the gates in the third quarter as they slowly built a lead, and it reached as big as 16 points with them forcing turnovers and scoring on the break.
Yeah, it looked at this juncture of the ballgame, they were well in control, but you never know with these Magnolia veterans, they just don't give up. As they mentioned in the press conference, as a nice shot there by Don Trogliano.
But it was at this point when they were down by double digits when Calvin Abueva started to put his head down and just put in the work for the Magnolia Hotshots. In the fourth quarter, slowly but surely they came back into it thanks to big shots coming from Aris Dionisio.
Dionisio really showed his best when it matters most, especially in the latter parts of the ball game.
Porter with a career ball game as well, but the 3-point shots kept coming and they heated up again. Talking about the hot shots in the fourth quarter, Paul Lee also scoring on a couple of big 3-point shots.
Zagalang also getting in on the action as well. Strong performance from him. Big lefty.
And this is the final moment of the fourth quarter. Jericho Cruz with an opportunity to try and win the ball game, but they could not even put up a shot thanks to the defense of Mark Barroca in the overtime period late in the game. Look at this drive coming from Jericho Cruz, challenging the defense of Ian Sangalang and scoring with a layup.
Again, in the open court, or when there's a matter of 0 to 100, you can always count on Cruz to make it happen. Just like the Beast, anytime, when especially going down the middle of the key. Great shot for him.
Cruz then hit a big jumper to extend their lead to 4. And at that point, it was looking good for NLEX. But then this happened. Aris Jonicio fakes, draws the foul, and then hits a big three-point shot against JR Quinyahan, which was also Quinyahan's 6th personal foul, giving the youngster Jonicio an opportunity to win, but he misses the free throw, gets the rebound, has an opportunity to win the game another time, but it was not meant to be as we headed into the second overtime period.
But without his efforts, I mean, they would have never gotten to that second overtime. Great shot by Dionisio.
And the second overtime period, 2OT, was all about Ian Sangalang dominating in the shaded area.
He just went to work. Left, back down, turn. Quick shot. Feathery touch from him.
And even with Calvin Abueva fouling out of the ball game, they were already in control thanks to this effort coming from Gio Halalon as well, with a drive and basket. And the finishing touches, courtesy of who else but Ian Sangalang with another basket in the shaded area to put this baby to sleep for the Magnolia Hotshots. Pambansang Manok, they bounce back after the loss to the TNT Tropang Giga as they win 112 to 105 against the NLEX Road Warriors. And speaking of the TNT Tropang Giga, that matchup against the San Miguel Beermen is coming right up here on PBA Rush.